The most intense since January's ceasefire has resulted in at least 69 Palestinian fatalities. The United Nations International Organization for Migration, IOM, is reducing and suspending critical projects globally due to a significant funding shortfall, primarily stemming from a 30% cut led by the United States. A major rescue operation is underway off the southern coast of Cyprus following the sinking of a migrant boat in international waters. Joseph Eckerson with the latest.
Authorities have recovered 7 bodies and rescued 2 individuals, with reports indicating that at least 20 Syrian migrants were on board.
The Trump administration has dismissed most of the board members of the U.S. Institute of Peace and appointed new leadership.
This move is part of broader efforts to downsize organizations associated with foreign assistance.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact. Independent fact-checking and corrections are encouraged.
Can we get a cup of coffee in here, please? Damn good coffee and hot.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
I don't know about that.
My dog is your mind's best friend.
Wake up, America. You've got a dog that needs walking. That's right, sunshine. Just put on a big pot of strong coffee and get ready to type your little hate mail with your opinions about kumbaya and flat earth insanity. Stand-up comedy? You want stand-up comedy? Well, we've got sit-down comedy. It's time for Coffee with the Dog. You make me laugh.
So, wobbly, 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 wah, 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 Man, I never so long somebody Good morning, folks. I'm just seeing if that thing stops itself, or do I have to stop it? It's gonna. Oh, look, it stopped itself. Good morning. Feels like a Thursday. I'm gonna call it a Thursday, just on a whim. March 20th, 2025. It's today. It's today. The first day of spring. I don't know. I forgot to look. I thought about it last night. Here's the thing with waking up. In order to wake up, you must first go to sleep. I have not slept. Last night, I had a pretty enjoyable program with a young lady with an English accent living in Mexico City. Author. But when the show was over, I got some reels together and was publishing them, and I decided I'd have a beer and a gummy. And what I learned yesterday, and I tested it last night. If you want the gummies to kick in, you got to start shit talking them. These fucking gummies, they're no good. And then boom, that's when they kick in. So these are not sleepy gummies. These are sativa do shit gummies. And so it keeps you up. Making retarded graphics. Yes, I said the word graphics, but useless graphics. Stuff like we have a new sponsor. It's called our amazing bullshit sponsor. Now, why did I make that? Because I was doing serious stuff. I'm calling for show hosts and what we will do for people to help them get sponsorship. And for some reason, this guy in this graphic, and AI produced this guy. Now, look at this guy. He's got 6 fingers on one hand and 4 fingers on the other. He's got 10 fingers. He just needs to distribute them a little better. But for some reason, that spot for the sponsorship just called for amazing bullshit. Now, does that denigrate our real sponsors? Probably. Hello there. I'm going to pull this down. But this is the kind of nonsense you do when you eat sativa gummies. So don't do it. I'm just telling you. Do as I say, not as I do, I guess, is what I'm telling you. Anyway, today should be an interesting show for you. And I know I say that every day, and every day I fucking disappoint you. But today should be an interesting show, and not for good reasons. Well, the second hour might be fun. The first hour might be fun, too. Let me get to what I'm talking about here. I think we have a hardcore diehard Trumper coming on the program. And for the guys in the back who are going to be joining me, I'm just going to say, don't feel any obligation to be nice and polite and not insult somebody just because they're on the show. That's all I'm going to say. He's got a book about the future of the American family. That's actually the title of it. And we're going to be talking about that. But you know what? Family values. You can't be there. If you're supporting a guy who rapes his own daughter, rapes kids, and wants to do away with education, you're not for family values. So it could get a little contentious in the first hour. We'll see. I'm not a Trumper. I did not know this guy was a Trumper until last night when I was sativaing around trying to look him up and say, who am I interviewing tomorrow? And I can't find the emails of how he got booked on the program. I could have sworn it was one of the publicists. I don't see any trail there. And when I say trail, I mean, I don't know what the fuck I mean. I haven't slept. But so I don't know where he came from. But you know what? I feel like we might end up arguing. Now, in the second hour, we have a Australian living in New York City, polymath. Do you say polymath or polymath? Polymath. How do you say it? How do you say that thing? Anyway, his name is Simon Mills. Here's my problem with him, and this could get ugly too, because he's a ghostwriter. And I've interviewed some of the people he's ghostwritten books for. How do I know that? Because he lists them on his website. Now, to me, if you're a ghostwriter, isn't the most important part of that, or one of the most important parts, the ghost part, where you're not supposed to, oh yeah, I wrote that book. People are trying to take credit for writing their own book, and then you're listing that you wrote their book on your ghostwriting site. I don't know. To me, it's like kind of outing them a little bit there. Anyway, we'll talk to him in the second hour. If we make it through to the second hour. Now, Jerry Camerata, who has written The Future of the American Family, might be a little mobbed up. So I could get whacked if we're a little too rude to him, but I don't care. I'm ready to get whacked. Whack me, baby. I have not slept. Did I mention I haven't slept? So maybe it's time for a little mind bloom. And then when we come back, we'll say hello to the men.
Mind Bloom is helping people achieve life-changing clinical and personal breakthroughs, alchemizing both the psychedelic medication, psychiatric care from psychiatric clinicians, coaches, we call psychedelic guides, and a lot of content and meditations and programs into this really transformational experience that, because it's delivered at home, costs a lot less and is a lot more convenient for people to receive.
And ladies and gentlemen, in the room with me now, Stephen Quigley Wiggly Ortiz, Ron Bigley Wiggly Kane, and GED. Now you're talking, Henderson. Good morning.
Good morning, America. MindDogTV.com. Are you feeling left out because everyone you know has cancer? You can have it too by sharing your shit. Oh, sorry. You can have it. You can fake it by shaving your head and losing weight. Or you can get cancer by listening to Coffee with the Dog weekdays, Monday through Friday. MindDogTV.com. Support your local mercenaries and enjoy the suffering.
That was
amazing,
from our,
amazing bullshit sponsor.
Yeah. He didn't mention the sponsor there, but thank you for that. It's today the first day of spring. Do you guys know?
It is. According to my calendar.
Before we get started, I just want to say, hey, Steven, tell your aunt what's up.
Yeah.
You fucking son of a bitch! Shut up, or you're gonna be my uncle.
Ron's doing in your aunt, Uncle Ron.
No,
Uncle
no, he's not.
No,
what's going on here, GD?
I just asked him, say, what's up? That's it.
GD, you know what's going on?
Yeah, it was a mistake. Last night, Ron texted Steven, and the text said, "Hey, Steven's aunt, you up?" And so
then I sent him a dick pic and said, "Yes, I'm up."
I would like to share with you guys an email I got.
Okay.
Is this the one about the guy becoming a reverend?
No.
Okay.
I'm glad we can communicate. It says it's from Larry Jacobs, but then it says, I'm glad we can communicate. I'm Dr. Huey Roth. Huey, UWE, a researcher at Avara Pharmaceuticals Limited. I'm contacting you to discuss a viable business opportunity that pharmaceuticals, man, I'm in. That will be exceptionally beneficial to you and me. I will give you more details if I have receive a positive response from you. From Larry
Does
Jacobs.
that mean he gives you like a test and you test positive for that particular disease?
I don't know
Maybe
what it means, but I can tell you that Avara.net, whatever AvaraStaffs.net, wherever that's just a white page, a blank white page. There's not even a website there. It's just a domain name. But it's just interesting that this guy had me pegged for pharmaceutical. Like, what? That's a weird scam. It's like I'm a researcher at a pharmaceutical company. Like, why is that important if you have a business opportunity? Unless it is you have pharmaceutical coke that you want me to help distribute. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I was a guinea pig for ibuprofen back in the day.
But you wouldn't get an email like that from Larry?
No. I was actually receiving. I had impacted wisdom teeth, or they were going to be impacted.
Oh.
And I didn't have
I'll
insurance.
impact your teeth.
I didn't have insurance, so I could only afford to pay for one. And so I went to the dentist and I said, I'll get one done and I'll come back and get the other ones when I can, And he goes, wisdom teeth. He says, wisdom teeth extraction is so painful. Once you do one, you're not going to come back until it gets really, 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 really painful. And I said, I said, well, you don't know me very well then, do you? Because I'm here now and it's not painful.
He said, and then he said, I'm the dentist. I've had you under and I've had my cock 9 inches down your throat. You think I don't know you well?
Yeah,
well, first of all, his dick was only 2.5 inches, which is why it didn't bother me. It never reached my throat.
That's how he impacted GD teeth. That's as far as he could reach. GD, real quick, are you eating the ashes out of the urn behind you?
Actually, I'm tasting the soup. I'm tasting it. I'm not
eating
soup.
What'd you do? Put them in a blender instead of in a furnace?
That's kind of like a wine tasting thing, but ash tasting thing. It's like a party time.
Actually, this was one of the earlier ones I did, and if I thought about it, I called this one the crock pot. But if I'd have thought about it, I'd have called it a soup urn. But I didn't think about that.
I think you should call it a cock pot.
Have you guys looked at Dr. Jerry Camerato's website?
No, I'm just getting around to even.
I'm pretty sure he's going to be a hardcore Trump, because there's a point where he says it's all up to our president now, and then there's another thing where he says make the American family great again.
Oh boy!
Yeah, but a lot of people are.
Oh no!
He also was appointed to a conference by Jimmy Carter. So
wow, I didn't see that. That's in his bio. I should have read that, shouldn't I?
So, how old is this dude? 97.
So he could possibly be one of those people that's like socially conservative, or socially progressive, because after all, he did fight for paternity leave, which is not something that sounds like they would have done, a Trumper would have done. But then
that's
again,
absolutely true. I knew that, and I should have taken that into consideration.
but also Trumpers don't mind taking advantage of the system. I don't remember any Trumpers turning down any stimulus checks either. So
that's true.
It could be just a mixed bag. How he's conservative in one aspect and progressive, or
I think
not
he's
so.
already late, isn't he? Where's my clock? Where's my clock? Who's hiding my clock these days?
My favorite is when the Trumpers get on you for taking the vaccine, and it's like, well, Trump is the one that put all that together and got it rushed through. So
I don't allow Trumpers on me.
Yeah, I just say explain Operation Warp Speed to me, and when they will look at me like, what's that?
Well, most of them think that's part of Space Force.
Hey,
that's when your Space Force gets top speed. That's warp speed.
Yeah.
Yes. Is it snowing where you guys are?
Yes.
Not in this room.
I'm sorry, no, that's cocaine.
It was 72 degrees 2 days ago. 61 yesterday. Now it's 20 degrees and snowing. We have what's called a bipolar vortex. It's fucking bullshit.
Are you sure it's snow? Because when God scratches her head to think about what she's doing, it also flakes fall.
This is ball dandruff, bro.
You're very rude. Steven said something funny. It was the first time in 2025, and you didn't give it a second to get a chuckle or a giggle.
I'm sorry. Repeat it, Steven. I'll laugh.
I said this weather's bullshit. It's like a bipolar vortex.
Well, the laugh was better the first time.
Yeah, the laugh was better the first day. You ruined. You blew it, GD.
You go stepping on his hysterically funny line there. Hysterically funny.
Can't do nothing in this.
I got it.
See, right? That's pretty funny.
I got it.
Yeah. So,
you son of a bitch.
I know. Maybe Dr. Camarada not going to show up. Maybe.
Dr. Camarada is not going to Dr. Come Around.
Yeah. So we can discuss my book, and you can pre-order it now. It's called Mind Your Own Fucking Business. Mind Your Own Fucking Business. Pre-order now. It will be out soon.
Wouldn't it be Mind Dog Your Own Fucking Business?
It could be whatever we want it to be, really. It's a blank cover. I asked AI to give me a ball.
Hey, I got a question. How come in all that Sativa Highness you did, you still didn't make You got to buy the book graphic?
Huh?
Yeah, that's true.
What do you mean?
You have to buy the book.
You got to buy the book. You didn't make got to buy the book graphic. So when people say it on Steven's show, you can pop it in.
Or on this show, you can just be like,
I still haven't. I thought about this when I was on the Sativa too. That I still haven't done the GD's. It's time for stories about GD's mom.
Oh yeah, we need a GD.
I didn't. I never expected you to do that. I was just calling your bluff. That's why I sent the picture. If I didn't send the picture, send the picture and you didn't do it, you could say, "Well, I never got the picture." See, so this is why I sent the picture, and then you don't have that as an excuse. You just had to say you fucking
balls
lazy.
in your court.
Yeah,
I was thinking about doing a doo-wop thing, but I couldn't get anything good that rhymes with mom. The GD's mom, GD's
Dom,
mom, GD's mom, GD's mom, and then
my mom was a Dom. She used to beat us like, yeah.
But that's it. Where do you
she
go?
Didn't know. She didn't know she was. She just thought she was beating our asses with sticks and stones and shit. But she enjoyed it too much. That's why she stopped beating me. My mother told me she stopped beating me because it stopped being fun. Because I wouldn't respond like my brother. My brother would like fight and scream and yell.
Mama told you not to come.
No, she never told us not to do that. Matter of fact, that was encouraged.
Huh.
She just didn't want to see it.
Not to that kind of party. It's the craziest party I've ever seen.
Even with the drugs you take, you remember that party?
I remember listening to that song and it made me want to do drugs. You know what? I'm not one of these people who, bad influence from the music, but that song definitely made me think the hippie life and doing drugs. It made me just think of remember the Mod Squad and
Lincoln.
Yeah.
I don't know what that is, but that's fun sounding.
Name Hayes, first name Lincoln.
Yeah, made me want to do drugs. Not necessarily hard drugs. I mean, I wasn't going to be a heroin addict, but definitely made me want to smoke weed and drink.
The funny thing is that song, I didn't even think of the weed part. I just thought of the smoke was like cigarette smoke or something. But I used to go to parties like that, so it was just triggering for me.
Yeah. Well, maybe it looks like I don't know. We're not going to talk about the American family, the future of the American family here today.
Maybe if he is a MAGA guy, that he maybe looked into the show a little bit and was like, "Oh, hard no."
Well, then the decent thing to do, the party of responsibility thing to do would be to call me and say, "Listen, I think you're a dick. I'm not coming on your show."
Yeah, but he's a MAGA guy, and most MAGA guys are pussies. So
We don't know that he's the MAGA guy.
but if he is, it tracks. If he is, it tracks.
I mean, people could just easily say, well, he's a progressive, and the progressives are spineless, and they can't face the music. So,
well, here's what he is. He's a MAFGA guy, make the American family great again guy, using the same graphics as Make America Great Again.
A lot of people are doing that, though. I know a company that says that's using the slogan "Mega, make electricity great again." They're for solar power.
All right.
Yeah, but I feel like, but that's.
There are a lot of people doing stuff like that. Make America healthy again.
Facebook Meta would be like make Ethiopia trans again.
Oh my god!
What about MAGA? Make masturbation great again.
Yeah.
Maba.
Or Mafa, make fisting great.
I feel
again.
like maybe I should follow up with UE Roth about this pharmaceutical deal right now.
Vagina.
So Stephen got a boner last night, and I could see it from.
Oh man, dude, that chick was something else. My goodness.
Yeah, the New York City lit it up. They lit the tip up for St. Patrick's Day. A day late, but what the hell? Well, a couple of days late. But they lit up the end of Stephen's dick all green for some reason.
They did.
Well, I mean, not like the Irish were probably drunk and didn't know which day it was anyway. So,
and as far as the green tip on Stephen, that could very easily be a fungus.
That probably would.
Oh my god!
Or some fungi.
Hey, Grok here. Go fuck yourself.
In the second hour of today's program, if the guest shows up, Stephen will get a boner again.
Okay.
He probably got
Arnar, Clear, come back.
Now, I'm thinking maybe this is like I don't know, where Superman goes and turns the earth in the other direction to get the people back and the chat room happening again, because it's an Australian. Maybe this it seems like probably a hetero Australian. So he will reverse the spin that Fox put on this program.
You know what? We're going to have to call this the Kobe Fox paradigm.
Yeah.
It's funny because when I think about that movie where Superman slows down the earth and reverses the spin to turn time back, it's the same DC people, not DC people, but the same comics, DC. And that's not how they explain time travel now. When they want to go back in time, they have to use the time.
Just call Huey Lewis. What the fuck?
The Speed Force. They use the Speed Force and the Flash.
Yep.
So that's how they do it now. And I'm just thinking, was that not available to them back then? That whole Speed Force thing.
1940s technology, dude.
I'm just saying
that's when it was, right? 1940s or 50s? Probably 50s.
No, that Superman one was in the 70s, I think.
Really?
Or maybe even the 80s. Early 80s, late 70s.
Which was the one where Superman...
That was Christopher Reeves, the first one.
Yeah, but they did it the same way in the television show, which was the 50s.
I didn't know that he ever turned back time in the 50s.
Yeah, he did turn the earth backwards or something.
Oh, then maybe it was an homage, a very stupid, homage, ignoring the science that's not how
you
it would
can't
work.
say homo without homage. Maybe you can.
Yeah, I do it all the time.
Yeah, you do. Hey, you go around saying homo.
Oh yeah, I say homage all the time.
No, I said you can't say homo without homage, and you said yes, I can. I do it all the time, which means you go around saying homo, not homage.
Well, it doesn't matter. My first time I said it, my wife slapped the H out of my mouth.
That. When you say it doesn't matter, yeah,
it doesn't matter. Right. My wife slapped the H out of my mouth anyway, so that's why it's homage.
Oh, domestic abuse.
Miss Dr. Jerry.
It's not domestic. We traveled abroad. My wife and I traveled. My wife and I have not traveled abroad together.
When you say traveled abroad, you mean like from the shoulders to the knees and back again?
Yeah, like are you calling your wife a traveling broad?
Traveling broad. No, she traveled abroad.
Oh, abroad. So she
She
brought
went-
one with her.
Or as she travels with a broad, her friend, her bestie.
Okay, that makes more sense now.
I kind of miss Dr. Jerry Camarada.
You miss him? What? See, I'm a little. I just realized something. My wife and I, my wife's best friend and her have traveled together more miles than my wife and I.
Uh-oh.
I think
that means.
And that what makes you jealous? Makes you feel insecure?
No, that means I have to step up my
lay
game.
down for a second. Let's talk about this.
I have to step down. Well, I don't know how because my wife. I'm assuming because my wife and I made a lot of little trips, like Florida and back, and Maine and back, and several times. She did Europe twice with her friend. Canada, I don't even know how many times. So I don't know. I think I'm losing. I think I'm losing the mileage battle to my wife.
Wow.
I mean, to my wife's best friend. I think I'm losing the mileage battle.
Wow. But I don't know. I'm out of here. So are you down with my theory?
Which one? I stopped paying attention.
Me too. The one about if you want the gummies to kick in.
That theory. It probably works for you. I'm not an authority. I'm not an authority on. I don't talk shit to gummies, and these work just fine for me.
Really?
Yeah, every gummy, they're all different, and some of it depends on like a state of mind, what you have in your belly, and shit like that.
I want to get the kind that help you sleep. I know there are sleep gummies. Mine don't make me sleep. They make me stupid. I want to paint. I want to create music, sing songs about GD's mom.
I think you're doing the gummies wrong. I think if you want to sleep, you get 3 gummies. You put one in each nostril, and you get one stuck in your throat. And I think eventually you'll pass out.
Yeah, I think I'll die.
Yeah, well, you'll
that's
sleep.
What you want?
You'll sleep. It'll be a deep sleep.
That's like it's like his own little dirty little secret. That's how he gets it done.
Yeah, one in each nostril, one in the back of the throat, and you're. Oh my god! Oh my fucking god!
Oh my fucking god!
You set him up.
Oh my goodness!
How do you say polymath? Is it polymath? Is it polymath? How do you have you?
Polymath?
It's not a
Yeah,
word.
I thought it was polymath.
Polymath?
Yeah, like you throw the numbers back up.
Why
you take the numbers and you throw them back up? Polymath.
I never heard the word in 65 years, and now I've heard it twice. 2 people calling themselves that in the last month and a half. What's going on? Is this a new thing? Is this a trend? Is this?
They both bought the same calendar.
I don't get it though. I mean, how do you go your whole life without hearing a word, and now all of a sudden, oh, that's what I am? It's like, oh yeah, I never heard of Asperger's, and then everybody had Asperger's.
I never heard of actuarially until we got here.
Here's the problem: the word is polymath, but the definition is someone who takes, they like dabble in different subjects. But wouldn't that be poly subject as opposed to polymath? Because math is just one subject.
I would have called it polydabble.
That would be, isn't that like a redundant thing, polydabble? Because dabbling implies that you're doing more than one thing.
Dabble.
That's almost like ATM machine, polydabble.
Yeah.
So I think it would be like either polymath, like because you're doing different methodologies,
polymath,
or poly subject, or polygon.
Polyamorous.
Yeah, polyorifice.
Oh, all right.
That's multi-holes. Love multi-holes.
Yeah, polyorifice.
I miss my good friend Dr. Jerry Camarada. I don't know why, and somewhere Ambassador came in. I don't know where the fuck that came from.
Maybe he's an ambassador of families.
You know what? Let me look at the calendar for a second here.
Maybe it's a made-up title. Not that I don't know anything about made-up titles, but it could be a made-up title. I've heard of people with made-up titles.
Yeah. You know what? I was expecting kind of a mobbish kind of guy anyway. On the calendar, Calendly, it says ambassador.
It's a nice family you got there. Be ashamed if something happened to it.
Talking to me all wrong. It's the wrong tone.
Make the check out to the ambassador families.
Talk to me like that again, I'll stab you in the face with the soldering iron.
Yesterday, one of my booking agents who books me for facility stuff said, do you have a business name I could write checks to? Generally, I get paid direct deposit. He said, if we can do that, we can bypass the 1099 at the end of the year. It's like, what's going on here? It feels like you're inviting me into some kind of money laundering thing. You're inviting me to.
Actually, he'd have been fine if he just hadn't said that last part about the 1099. If he'd have just said, "Can I write you a check?" and not tell you his scheme, you wouldn't have been involved. You'd just said, "Look, he paid me. I put it on my taxes. I don't know what he did on his."
Well, if you get a 1099, that means you have to pay taxes on what he's paying you, right?
Yeah.
Maybe he's just looking out for you because you're an entertainer and
cash and shut the fuck up.
Well, that would have made the most sense. Is just cash and been done with it. Yeah, but I mean, I guess it has to come from the business. So
yeah, he may have to justify his cash, but he can write a check to anybody he wants. He can write a check to his drug dealer.
I mean, I would just call it good looking out. Really, I mean, it probably just sounds like he knows
you're. I've never had that kind of thing from a booking agent before, especially after I've been getting direct deposit from this guy for 27 years now.
I thought I heard you say just a booker, but a booking agent. Yeah, that's a little weird. Yeah. That does sound a little fishy. Yeah, a booking agent doing that? That's funky.
After 27 years of direct deposit.
Sounds like maybe he might owe some taxes.
What is the benefit to him? Like I don't know, did he fuck? Because now he wants to mail me checks.
Well, I bet it's a tax write-off thing. If he can write it to a business, he can count it as a business expense, which it should be either way, right? Because he's paying you for services. But
yeah,
maybe maybe if he can write the check from an account that would make it make it like a charitable donation or something. I'm not for you, but for him. Like if he writes it from his donate to American Cancer Society, AmericanCancerSociety.org/donate. I just wanted to work that in somehow.
I'll give you a donation.
Yeah.
It's like, here we go, Mr. I've got 9 kids at the sperm bank.
Oh my God.
Ortiz.
I do not. Well, first of all, I do not take kids to the sperm bank. That's disgusting. 2, I've never donated to a sperm bank.
No, you made withdrawals. You didn't make deposits. You made withdrawals.
So Stephen, if I may, your father's leaving the hospital. He's going out playing basketball today. What's going on?
No, So they were able to beat the sepsis. He was in septic shock, so they were able to beat the sepsis. Now they're just trying to restart his organs, and then they're gonna start slowly waking him up to see if he has any cognitive damage from the seizure and lack of oxygen. So
he's gonna wake up and say, "Are you kidding me? Steven's gonna pull a fucking plug. Get him in here." That's what he's gonna say.
Well, we'll see if you could hear me because I did whisper to him, "Hurry, my phone's dying." So.
Oh.
That's terrible. I didn't say that.
No, it is terrible, and you said it.
I said it about my grandfather. Actually, so my grandfather, who's also in the same hospital, the terribly racist one, we were talking to the doctor, and he's like, "I don't feel like you guys have his best interest in mind." I'm like, "We don't. Can we take his organs and give them to my dad?" And he goes, "That's illegal." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And I was like, "What if he dies first?"
Where do you sell them? Say, can we loan them to my dad?
Well, then I said, "What if he dies first?" And he goes, "Yeah, we need to keep the pillows out of the room." And I'm like, "Well, shit." And then he's like, "Well, how about it?" He was like, "How about this? Just sign a DNR." And I was like, "Okay." So
why didn't you just tell him that God hates the lazy and it's okay?
I did, but my grandfather is basically just pure unadulterated evil, and he's gonna live for a really long time, so it sucks.
No, evil never dies. It never does. Yeah. It just changes form.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like right now we're finding out a bunch of shit about him that we didn't know. Like I thought I had my aunt thought she only had 2 brothers, and now she's found she's the youngest of 7 kids.
Wow.
Yeah. What's up?
Yeah. Yeah, he's
Happens. Welcome to Grand Wizard Memorial Hospital.
Yeah, no shit.
You know, that would be such a hilarious movie sitcom to make. It's would you put it back in the in the 60s when hospitals were segregated and the entire hospital is just full of bigots and racists.
Well, so here's the funniest part happened yesterday afternoon is I went up there because I was trying to get the code to his safe, and I was talking to him, and this really cute little like Mexican nurse walked in, and he looks at her and goes, "God damn it, another spick!" And I was like, "I am so sorry." She goes, No, it's okay." She goes, "We get a lot of really old racist guys up here all the time." I was like, "I am so sorry." I go,
Let me make it up to you. Let me
I was
make
like,
it
"It's
up
a
to you.
terrible."
You want to suck? You give me a blowjob?
Well, hold on, close. I was like, "I am so sorry." I goes, "He really, really hates it." I was like, when he found out I was married to a Puerto Rican, he lost it. And I was like, it'd probably piss him off if you gave me your number. And she goes, "No, what would piss him off is if I jumped on your lap." And I was like, "Oh,
okay."
And then on the way out, I got her number, so that was cool.
Wow.
But yeah, it was, dude. He's so bad.
I'm watching Steven turn into Willie in front of my eyes. You seen that? Did you see that? I don't know if you know this about me, but then she blew me.
That would have been a better story.
And then I ate her pussy and made her come 19 times, or at least she faked it. And I'm too stupid
about me. I didn't know this about me, but I just found out.
I don't kiss and tell. That's disgusting.
Yeah, but you will finger and
finger and mention, maybe.
Yeah.
I so miss Dr. Camarada. When I get called that, when I get called that as a trauma nurse, I used to say, "Oh, John gets called a spick." Wow, thank you so much.
Save the trauma for your llama.
Most people think I'm Italian.
Forget about it.
Forget about it. Yeah. Where is he from? Michigan, right? Or somewhere out there?
Michigan, yep. Well, he lives in Michigan. I don't know if he's originally from there.
They don't even have Italians out there. Do they? Have they seen Italians out there?
17 at last count.
Yeah.
Well, usually what happens is, they used to have a lot more Italians, but once they get there, they change their identity. They don't.
Well, here's the thing: a lot of Italians move out here, and they run into all the rednecks, and then they start watching Italian Western movies, and then they move out west. So
I thought the only
spaghetti
Italians
westerns
that were out there were basically dumped in like lakes and stuff. Basically.
No, Michigan is low key a beautiful state in
That's
most
what
places.
Jimmy Hoffa won, right? I mean, at the end there, when Red Fox in or Red, no,
something like that.
I'm wrong.
What?
Where Jimmy Hoffa was last seen alive was somewhere in Michigan, near Detroit. The Red Fox Inn. I thought that was the case anyway. Red Fox Inn in Detroit, Michigan.
I don't think Jimmy Hoffa's dead. I think he's still alive.
No, well,
he's like 110 now.
He's probably dead now. He's probably dead now of old age. But
no, I think him and Elvis and Tupac are like laughing it up. They were like in Brazil. They're the new boys from Brazil, or new boys in Brazil.
Definitely dead by now. He'd be at least 100, right? Yeah, he's dead.
Like people who live to be 100 die at what, 100?
Maybe that's when you find out that Elvis is really racist, because everyone's like, "Oh, Elvis and Tupac are together," and then you get to heaven and Elvis is there. It's like, "Don't bring that black guy near me."
Elvis
You're on the white side.
Wasn't he? Yeah, I forget where I was going to go.
And Tupac is still yelling at him for a cultural appropriation. Mr. Project.
You don't even know what a hound dog is, homie. No.
So I want to fill up the because we can. I want to fill up the 24-hour cycle on Mind Dog TV with fucking people that want to do podcasts. This is my idea. If synergy to get people tuning in to the network, you'll get more people seeing all the shows. So the power in numbers. I'm doing my show here, so bring all these people in, not charge them anything, and help them get sponsorship. That's what that dopey thing with that my amazing bullshit sponsor, helping them get sponsorship, because I can get them sponsored. Now they're not going to get paid unless people buy this from the sponsors. It's basically a commission deal, but it's a way to start and build up something. There's a lot of people who want to do podcasts. Thing is, I just don't want to do it up to anybody. They have to have something to say. They have to have,
Does it have to be live, or can it be pre-recorded?
It could be pre-recorded. We could do all that kind of stuff.
The reason why I'm asking is because, look, I'm doing done way past funny episodes anyway.
That's what made me think of it. Honestly, I saw you doing. I was scrolling through Facebook and saw you. I was like, you know what? Why not put that on here? And then just like. I see all these fucking people. I don't even know how to start my podcast. Well, it's easy, and this saves you money. You can drop your little fucking StreamYard hosting fee and whatever. So I think that's a thing. Anyway, but I think that would help everybody on the network if we could do so. It's like a gas digital type idea. People get used to going to one destination to see shows, and then it helps all the shows. Not that it does big stuff for Govs. Probably doesn't. Govs has added 5 new viewers in the last year and a half, right? And they all came from us.
I don't know. They have quite a few. When they do it live, their chat room is full.
Fuck it, we'll do it live.
When Tony does it live, right? Or all of them.
But when I don't know about the other ones. I know when he does the
I bet the
Knock 'em
sports
Dead
show does really well.
I think, yeah, but that because he's actually like a local celebrity, right? That sports guy. He's like a sports radio guy.
Not that I would know. I have, FAN in New York was a big thing. FAN AM, which was, down.
The only sports guy from the radio I know is Harry Carey.
Harry Carey's dead.
I think that would be new.
I think he's Harry
new.
Carey.
Yeah.
Well, I knew. Yeah.
Yeah, so that's the idea, and we'll see if I know people get there. Well, it's a scam. Like, how's it a scam? I'm not charging you anything for it. I'm not making any money off it. If you have a YouTube channel, you can broadcast to there, and if you get it monetized, you keep all that. We don't touch it. It's basically saving you a couple of bucks, helping you get started. And I can even run it some of the shows. Like, I'm not going to be able to run all of them if we get a lot of them. But like what I do for the Rev on Sunday morning, what I do for Steven on Monday nights, I could do that for people and help them get started. So, but I'm sure I'm already anticipating. Oh, what kind of scam is this? Because when I read the copy that AI wrote for me, it sounds scamish. Like, we get you.
I lost my train of thought.
I'm not a robot.
Where'd you put it?
Yeah.
Hold on. I got a message that just distracted me. Monday is Monday on Beyond Classified. We have Bruce Solheim. On Beyond Classified.
The guy with the big alien that he met, right?
Yes.
Yeah, he's crazy. But
yeah,
he's crazy.
Yeah, let's see. His name is Dr. Bruce Solheim, PhD.
Anthar, I think, or something like this 9-foot alien that he met up on a mountain. But the guy teaches history. It's like he's a walking history channel, I guess. But he goes hiking in the mountains and talks to an alien that only he can see.
Here it is. Here's his bio.
That doesn't sound too different from Harvey.
Yeah, no, it doesn't. Except that it's not at a bar and it's not a rabbit. But
what's this guy thing? If he's the only one to see it, how we know it's not a rabbit? He's just saying, if I tell people you're a rabbit, they don't think that you're Harvey. So why don't I tell them you're a Sasquatch?
I think we looked at a drawing he made of it. It didn't look like a rabbit. It looked like a
no. But that's what I'm saying. He doesn't want people to know it's a rabbit. He doesn't want people to know it's a rabbit because otherwise we'll find out that he's just stolen Jimmy Stewart's.
I asked him if there was a good chance, a strong possibility that he was totally fucking nuts. And I think he said possibly. I can't. I said, how do you know? You're just not fucking. I forget what I said, but I think I said, how do you know you're just not, schizophrenic or something like that? Because this sounds awfully. I would not tell people. I went.
This is one of the things that we would do, like when people will come to us. and say, I have this spirit guide who does such and such, one of the things we would do is just, okay, well, simple enough. Your spirit guide can see inside of this box, right? Yeah, okay. We're going to put the box in the other room. You tell your spirit guide to tell you what we just put in the box. Very simple.
Schrodinger's cat. You just put Schrodinger's cat in the box.
And it just what's in the box, and
cat.
And we'll even narrow it down. We'll even give you odds. Like we'll say it's one of these 5 things. So you have a 20% chance of getting it right, but your spirit guide would have a 100% chance of getting it right.
So it's not Schrodinger's cat?
No, because we didn't have cats in the school. But we did have lots of religious artifacts.
So whatever was in the cat was both alive and dead at the same in the box, not in the cat. We know it was in the cat.
In the cat.
There was a mouse inside the cat. It swallowed the fly.
Well, actually, the cat was used to make tennis rackets.
Oh,
that's why it was called cat gut.
But the cat, I mean the box, whatever was in the box,
right,
was both alive and dead at the same time, right?
Well, inanimate.
Or inanimate.
It was inanimate and animate at the same time.
All right. How about Stephen the animate? I mean Stephen's aunt. I'm in. Let's get Stephen's aunt. I'm in.
No, it was I'm sorry, it was an aunt. Because doing an aunt would be bestiality.
I didn't mean to insinuate that her breath might smell like cock. I'm just sorry. I'm really sorry.
Yeah. No. Yeah. It's all good.
Forgive me. Listen. Sometimes I say stuff. I regret them.
It's all good. It's all good.
All right.
By everyone, dude. My buddy that I'm living with thinks my aunt's hot too, so it's fine.
Well, why do you let Ron fuck your aunt and not me and GD?
I don't.
Ho! Don't even drag me into that, okay? Because if you thought Lorena Bobbitt was vengeful, she has nothing on my wife.
What do you mean? I don't know. I don't know what. Wow. I don't know.
Well, to be fair, Ron's too white for my aunt, so.
Ooh.
Well, it's a good thing I'm not white. I'm Italian, so.
Well, you're too Italian for her too, then.
What am I doing?
I don't know.
I don't know what
She likes the brown guys.
Oh, really? And
I told you my whole family has married Hispanic people, Latino and Latinas.
Is your family just rebellious because your grandfather was so?
Mostly.
That's what it sounds like to me.
Mostly, yeah.
Yes, it's like everybody's rebelling. It's like, fuck your grandpa.
It started out as rebellion, then everyone was like, oh, exotic is cool.
But your grandpa was still fucking people of minority races anyway, right? So it's not like they'd have to rebel. They could still be racist and fuck minorities.
Oh, yeah.
So your family dynamic is
fucked.
I was going to say different than mine. I was going to say different than mine.
Well, just let her know that I identify as a pizza and it's Italian sausage.
She didn't look like Italian sausage, but do you slice it like that, like in quarters, like quarter slices, like.
But when it gets hot, it gets.
No, it's like a whole pizza. Just wrap it up.
So it's big and round like that. It's not a square pie.
Oh.
It's a round pie. I don't understand the pizza analogy. I have to admit. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I wanted the chat room to guess. Now is Dr. Camarada, Jerry Camarada, not here because he forgot, because of time zone issues, or because he's checked out the show and said, I don't want to be on it. First of all, they got a black guy on that show. I don't know. I'm not sure if you're aware of that. I'm not going on a show with no black guy. What do you think the reason?
A black guy who tastes things out of his own urn.
Right. So what do you think is the real reason Dr. Camarada is not here? I should have a prize.
Where is he located? Because maybe he overslept.
I don't know where he's located. I thought New York. It looks like I've seen his Instagram page, and it all looks like the streets of New York. Like
and what was he going to talk about, Doctor?
The future of the American family, an unprecedented crisis. All I got out of it was he's concerned about the birth rate. Yeah,
and he has a book also.
White people are not having enough children.
Oh yeah, that's been a big push for like Elon's for the past couple of years. Like we need more. It's like, you're being fucked out of existence. You've lost.
That's why I wrote the book, Mind Your Own Fucking Business, because to me, people should be allowed. Why are you worried about the American family? Worry about your own family. If people don't want to have kids, that's their right to not have kids. Why is it? Why do you care about the American family?
But you can You have to care about your family. Like Justin Eichhorn, state senator from Minnesota.
Right.
He has strong Christian values, and you have to be a man of faith to pick up a 16-year-old girl, because that's the only way you're going to be able to put up with her.
It's true. My grandfather was a chaplain's assistant in the army.
We're just trying to look for a Mary, right? Like she was a young girl who just immaculately got pregnant and whatever. That's what. But that aside, the American family, I agree. You should look after your family. You should care about your family, even if you're diddling 16-year-old girls on the side, like Steven does.
I do not.
At the Lutheran school.
They're not on the side.
18 or older.
On their side. They're not on their side. They're on their back and their face
Whatever.
down.
I just got sidetracked there. The point is, why do you care about your neighbor's family? The American family is not your family. Your family is your family.
Because when you go to visit Steven, the first thing he tells you
If I'm
is,
not vaping, I'm raping.
I know. This is
Boy's vaping, so it's okay.
So now he's no longer at the Lutheran school, but he will be starting at the Presbyterian school.
No, I work for a cell phone company now.
So the chemical castration worked? Is that what you're saying?
Crystalia's cellphone.net.
No, god damn it, no.
Crystalia cell towers.
the Crystalia party line. That's right. We're opening it up at 10 o'clock tonight. Come talk to Crystalia.
I'm just curious. That's all. Curious.
If there's a little grass on the field, that means we can play, boys. The Crystalia
Listen,
out.
I get it that you two old guys suffer from terrible erectile.
Hey, look, don't be picking on Ron and Matt like that.
And it's easy to it's easy to pick on me. I get it. It's fine. I can't stand up for myself.
To Boom Corner, the only corner that you can get stuck in.
Come on along. Oh, I'm sorry. I love that song.
Come on along to Alexander's Ragtime Band. Hey.
What else? We're waiting for a polymath. I don't know, music, books, but this idea now with the guy coming up, Simon Mills, he's a ghostwriter, but if you go to the books section, you see all these books that he's written. He's got them listed there. Are you supposed to keep that shit quiet? Shush.
Maybe they didn't pay him well enough, and he says, "Fuck it, I'm going to out you guys."
Maybe.
I hope he comes on in a blanket with holes cut out for the eyes. I'm like, who's right?
I'll do one for you.
I don't know. It just feels weird to me. Like, I know it's been done before, but I think the whole idea of having somebody ghostwrite is so you can make believe you wrote it.
Now, if he writes books for black people, is he a spook writer?
Oh,
what? Like
I feel like the ghostwriter website makes sense only because the only people that are looking for ghostwriters are people that want ghostwriters. So I don't feel like most authors have their fans looking for ghostwriters.
Well, he's a polymath, and he has his music. He has lots of. He's not just like.
What does that word mean? Polymath.
He does lots of different things. He's a musician.
Yeah.
He's a writer. He's a publisher. He's got a lot of expertise in a lot of different areas.
That's why it sounds stupid, because polymath makes it sound like he's good at algebra and calculus.
None of it is math. Yeah,
And
he's
he has
good at a lot of
multiple
things, but none of it
partners,
is math. Oh, that's the wrong book.
If he's going to have polymath, how many partners does he have?
Well, it depends on the digits.
I mean, how big is that polycube? We're talking math here.
If he's into pi, it could be endless.
Yeah, I mean, we know for a spit roast, you're going to need at least 3 people. Let's do the math. We're going to need at least 2 guys and a chick. But now, if we're going to switch up that, if we're going to change it up, we can have 3 women, but at least 2 of those women are going to need strap-ons.
Yeah.
You see, I honestly never thought I was depraved in any way. I just considered my habits my habits. and the more I listen to Ron, the more I feel like I just feel normal.
You're probably like, thank God I'm not that bad.
Because it's like I'm like now. Funny thing is sometimes I'll listen to you guys. I'm like, I could never do. I'll hear the words. I'm like, I have no idea what that is. And then somebody will say what it is. I'm like, oh, okay, yeah. Well, who hasn't done that? And so it's just that when I was a kid, when I was growing up in my 20s and stuff, we didn't have names for things. We just did them.
Give me an example of a thing you did that didn't have a name for it.
Well, then I'd be telling you what I did, right?
Right. Well, I don't. Yeah, you do. Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's just say
that's your sins.
I don't have any sins. I just have things I've done.
That's a lie. It's a dirty, rotten lie.
No, sins imply that somebody's like keeping score, so evaluating it.
It's a dirty, rotten, disgusting, just loathsome lie.
Well, depending if that guy shows up or not or whatever, I do have showbiz loaded up. We have a few stories, nothing crazy.
Yeah. I can't believe that Jerry Camarada didn't show up. After all we've been through together, all the rallies, all the break-ins at the Capitol we've been through together, he doesn't show up.
I even heard you guys shit on Nancy Pelosi's desk together.
Yeah.
I was trying to remember that.
Together.
I don't remember
the line of ticking turns.
No, they were up there. They were up there together, holding hands, so they didn't fall. They call it a deuce deuce.
Want to? I'm going to bomb it, but we'll sample the sports. I want because I haven't checked it out, but I have a suspicion it might have gotten a little better. Well, we'll see. If it hasn't, I'll just bomb it really quick.
This is the latest sports headlines. In Tokyo, the Los Angeles Dodgers completed a 2-game sweep against the Chicago Cubs in Major League Baseball's season opener. Japanese star Shohei Ohtani thrilled the home crowd with a home run, contributing to the Dodgers' victory. This performance underscores Ohtani's continued excellence and
It's like Saturday Night Live music. Whatever happened to Don Pardo? We need Don Pardo back. That's terrible, right? That Saturday Night Live music. Let me get rid of that sports thing. I'll play news next and see if that's any.
A major rescue operation is underway off the southern coast of Cyprus following the sinking of a migrant boat in international waters. Joseph Eckerson with the latest.
Authorities have recovered 7 bodies and rescued 2 individuals, with reports indicating that at least 20 Syrian migrants were on board. The search continues, involving military helicopters, rescue vessels, and drones, although hopes of finding additional survivors are diminishing.
The United Nations International Organization for Migration, IOM, is reducing and suspending critical projects globally due to a significant funding shortfall, primarily stemming from a 30% cut led by the United States. Jim Kender reports.
This reduction, amounting to approximately $1.1 billion, severely impacts vulnerable migrant communities and exacerbates existing humanitarian crises. Essential programs, including food and healthcare services for Rohingya refugees in Thailand, reunification efforts for trafficking victims in the U.S., and emergency aid in Mozambique, are among those affected.
Israeli forces continue to launch extensive airstrikes across the Gaza Strip, targeting numerous Hamas positions. The operation, the most intense since January's ceasefire, has resulted in at least 69 Palestinian fatalities.
Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu stated that the military action was initiated due to stalled negotiations to extend the ceasefire. He emphasized that Israel will intensify its military efforts against Hamas until all Israeli hostages are released and the group's capabilities are significantly diminished. Benjamin Wright reporting.
This is the latest news headlines.
Vote for me again. One more time.
When's the contract up for this thing?
Authorities in the Dominican Republic are intensifying their search for Sudiksha Konanki, a 20-year-old University of Pittsburgh student who went missing before dawn on March 6th in Punta Cana.
Konanki, an Indian citizen, was last seen on a beach and is feared to have drowned. Minnesota student Joshua Ribe, believed to be the last person to see her, has been detained by Dominican police for questioning but has not been named a suspect. The FBI is also involved in the investigation. Jessica Oakley reporting.
The Trump administration's recent deportation orders are facing increased scrutiny from the courts, Lawrence Keller reports.
You know who was in Punta Cana last week when that girl went missing? Mike Sciavola.
I was deep inside Punta Cana. Wait, is that what he said?
Mike Sciavola was in Punta Cana when that girl went missing.
How do we know? Because by the time you find out about it from Alex Jones, whatever his name is, I forgot his name already. The guy that just does news.
The kids look like retards.
By the time we find out about it, yeah, it's like 9 months old. So how do we know?
I think they said that when she went missing was last Thursday, right? So.
Yeah, but we don't know when he recorded it. So last Thursday could be 2 Thursdays ago. If he recorded it like last Thursday, then it could be the Thursday before that.
An unfair point, I guess. I just assume it's not more than a day or two old.
Well, I just don't know. I'm just trying to give Mike Sciavola the benefit of the doubt.
No, don't ever do that. Don't ever do that. So yeah, maybe, I don't know, but Punta Cana is not that big a town. Is all I'm saying. And we know what Trump is like to make girls go missing, right? What is Ron in front of now?
He's hiding a Trump head.
Oh, you know what? What about this thing where because somebody, remember when Trump got bopped in the face with a microphone last week? Did you see that clip where a reporter bashed him in the face with the microphone? And he gave it a look like, what the fuck is wrong with you? But he didn't say anything.
He looked and saw it was actually being held by somebody for Fox News. He went, "Oh, that's okay then."
Yeah, but
that screen capture is from this AI video that someone made of that, and it's him licking and having all these microphones.
Oh, I didn't see that. I want to see that.
I'll send you guys the link.
Here's the thing: somebody put out the idea that, you know, all it takes is a little dash of ricin on the end of that microphone. You could take that guy right the fuck out. And they started spreading that idea. I would think the Secret Service would show up at that guy's house and say, you can't be posting what people, reporters could just take him out. We just put a little ricin on the end of the microphone and accidentally hit him in the face. You don't even
have to do that. You could just put it on the end of something and throw it at him.
Yeah. All right. I texted it to the group chat. So
you can't play it? Oh, because
I guess I could play it because it's just AI.
Here, I got it here. Yeah. You know what? How do I play it?
It's so simple and it's fun.
All right. I don't have any sound. Oh, because I have to do this on it, right? Let's see if I can play this shtick here. Oh boy, I'm just gonna play it right from the Reddit site where it is. Screen share.
Yeah, I mean it's pretty straightforward. It's not too long.
Is that it? No. What the fuck am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing.
I have no idea. Did anybody pay attention to what Steven said he was doing? Why he disappeared?
Steven was going to kill a family member. What else would he be doing?
But he's home. There's no family members to kill.
He kills them at home. He kills them. Come on, don't lock up Reddit. One more time. That wasn't cool.
Obviously, you're concerned.
It keeps getting stuck in the same place. Fuck you, Reddit.
Let me see if it'll play.
You know, the funny thing, there was I have a Trump mask, and the Reverend borrowed one of the Trump masks, and he was slapping the Trump mask in the face with a dildo. You know?
Steven, they wanted to know where you went. You were being accused of diddling kids and stuff again.
Guess who accused you of that?
I don't like it. Stop saying that.
Oh,
now without having been here, guess who accused you of diddling children while you were gone?
Not me.
Probably Matt.
Not me. Oh my God. I want that.
His hand's too big, though. That hand is too big to be Trump's hand.
Yeah.
That's great.
It keeps going.
They should have had Elon Musk holding one of the things.
Yeah. So
when I was away from the computer, did somebody say open marriage?
No.
Yeah, that's exactly what we were talking about. Open marriage while you were gone.
If I'm not vaping, I'm raping.
That's not true.
That's what we were talking about last night. There's a reel I put out about open marriage like last night, right? Or no?
I thought that was Opus marriage.
Opus clip, Opus marriage, Opus whatever. Interesting thing with this girl. She went from London to go to school in Pennsylvania University, Wharton School of Business, the Trump school. But that's why go from London to Wharton? It doesn't. And then she went from Wharton to New York City, and then from New York City to Mexico City. Well, you leave your family behind. I mean, that takes some doing, but whatever.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. So it looks like we got another no-show, or is it too late? Or is it,
no, we still got 10 minutes before you're supposed to be here.
Yeah, we got 10 stinking minutes.
What was the under-over on the no-shows this week?
250.
I think I picked 5.
Pick 5. I think we're still under that.
We started out good, then we derailed.
Oh, no. I picked 3 because there was like 8 people scheduled total, I think. So I think I picked 3 no-shows.
I picked 5.
5 people left.
If he doesn't show, well, this will be the 3rd this week. So
Truth is, I'm right about all of it, and you know it.
And you know it.
I know it. I don't think he pronounces his T's that hard, Alex.
Alex Jones doesn't usually pronounce his T's that predominantly, usually, but yeah.
Wow. Does that hurt your throat when you do that?
No, not at all.
Not any more than you'll notice about me, but I've been training.
God damn it!
My throat's been in training since I was a kid.
I'm not a raper.
I didn't say you were a raper. I said your throat's been in training.
I didn't hear anything about rape.
Throat's not in the training either.
Hey, there's another article that says the U.S. seeks to deport another pro-Palestinian Georgetown University student.
Of course.
What are we going to do? We're just going to lay down and die, right? We're just going to surrender. Nobody's going to fight back.
Well, what I'm interested in learning now, because like I said, I want some of these cases to go before the Supreme Court. And if they rule against Trump, which if they stick with the Constitution, they should. I want to see what the Supreme Court is going to do when Trump says, okay, now enforce it. I'm not going to do it, enforce it. That's what I'm interested in. For me, it's like an intellectual exercise. I want to see what they do to adjust to that.
But are you just assuming that they are going to rule against it? Because just because Roberts comes out and is
Oh, no. I'm just saying, because there's no legal precedent for him to win all of these things that are going to come toward the Supreme Court. Some of them is just so blatantly unconstitutional that, I mean, just they can't even finagle it. It's kind of like where there's one lawsuit where Trump put in, and it says the Congress shall, and it just says like, no, shall, like you don't have a choice. You shall do that. Doesn't say. And it was so black letter that they had to, Trump lost it. And so some of these cases are really like that black letter. For example, there's United States Institute of Peace. Okay, they went in and they raided. They took it over by force, as if it was a government agency, and they have like no jurisdiction whatsoever. I mean, that's like it couldn't get more black letter law. Just couldn't possibly happen. You should lose that.
Yeah. But the bottom line is you're hoping as like an intellectual exercise that
I just want to see. I want to see what they're going to do, because this is beyond anything that I can think of. I mean, they can't.
But wasn't the July 1st decision beyond anything you could think of, like anything you could imagine that the Supreme Court would go with? The idea that as a president, all he has to do is say it was in the best interest, he was acting in the interest of the country. And
no, that wasn't because you had two. They had they have a 6-3 majority in the Supreme Court.
Right.
3 of those people are firmly in the camp of the unitary executive theory. Okay, so you got 3 votes automatically. All it takes is 2 more.
Right.
2 out of the 3. So I'm not surprised at all. I mean, they could get 2 people by accident. You know.
But we also know a lot of those judges are on the take as well. Clarence Thomas is on the take, and it's not out of the realm of possibility. Why wouldn't some of the other ones be as well? I mean, look at John Roberts. He placates the Trump. He's like, oh, he talks big, but like,
well, in the case of Roberts, it's actually his wife that's actually earning money on the side from these things. She actually appoints attorneys. It's kind of like a what's it called, the Freedom Heritage Society, where she has these connections with lawyers that she puts in touch with these Trump people. So she's like a middleman. She's making money.
You got a pretty mouth for one of them, man. Polymath.
Whoa. You sure do got a pretty mouth, boy.
So Robert's wife is on the take. Alito and Clarence Thomas are both on the take.
Did you say your leader?
Alito.
Your leader?
I'll eat her.
No, I said Alito.
Who you eat? I don't. Who are you gonna eat?
I guess Stevens eating toes.
Kagan.
No, those are Kegels. I think that's Kegels, right?
Whatever.
Fried.
I'm need for some cash.
Yeah. Well, it looks like we're polymathed out. We're polyalgebra out.
We got 4 minutes.
Let's do showbiz. Yeah. Well, what's this show?
We didn't stop showbiz in the middle because it's 4 minutes.
Well, I cut some time off this polymath guy for making me wait for him. Right? He should be here in the back listening to this to know if he should run away. Shouldn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. You would think if you're going to appear on a show, you would at least show up a little bit early.
A minute or two, right? So this is the thing. Sometimes
And
when I first came on the show,
I chase you down. And then when I send them the link, like, when are we supposed to? You fucking pick the date. Why you have to? You should have put it on the calendar the minute you booked the date, right? Or am I wrong?
I agree.
Well, you're right.
I don't know what you're talking about, but sure.
The first couple of times I came on the show, I was way early.
Hey, we don't want to know about that.
Well, still my favorite is when I reach out to a comic and they're like, "Hey, you want to come do this?" And they're like, "Well, that's 3 hours behind me." Yeah, you're gonna have to make a little effort on your part.
Yeah. No, wait a minute. They're just not gonna knock on my door and say, "Comedy club? Any comedians in there looking for stage time?" That doesn't happen. All right.
Not anymore. You're thinking of the way comedy used to be back in the 2024s.
Where you just show up at the comedy club with your suitcase. I'm here to perform, gentlemen.
Back in the 2024s. That's a pretty narrow time frame.
Yeah.
All right, let's do a little show. What the fuck?
And now, bringing you the latest in entertainment news from Hollywood, New York, and East Bumfuck, Montana. Here's our chief entertainment correspondent, Ron Kane. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showbiz.
Showbiz. Polymath showbiz. I just keep saying polymath. Woo!
Hey everybody, it's showbiz.
What the fuck is that?
It's a little bit like Steve Buscemi painted black or something.
Actually, it looks like Steve Buscemi and Willem Dafoe had a baby.
The old flip phone.
Yeah, I put in the AI a man selling cell phones to people with 4 mouths, and this is what came up.
And he's got, if we look carefully, he's got 4 fingers. He's got a thumb and 3 fingers. AI never does the hands right. It's just weird.
No, they never do.
I almost feel conspiratorial, like it's doing it on purpose, just to
so that people can tell. Yeah, so people can tell it's AI.
Right.
Self-identifying marks, just so people.
Right, and if you want to really good shit, you got to pay more money.
It's like that
So does
one
that
of
mean-
those, winking the eye hostage tapes. Like, yeah, it's trying to send us Morse code that it's AI. That's what it
Does
is.
that mean that the AI is just it's thoughtful?
No, it just means they want you to pay more money to get the stuff that you can't tell her is AI.
Yeah. That's
So like the cheap stuff is like, yeah, this is AI. We're not going to give you the good stuff for free. This is the cheap shit.
Yeah, for sure.
Bronson, that's right, because I'm not spending money on this buck.
Yeah. So this is Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. Apparently, Kim is finally fed up with Kanye's shit because Kanye the other day went on a Twitter rant against Jay-Z and Beyonce and their kids. As they put in the article, he used ableist slurs. So I think he just called them retards. That's what his. I mean, that tracks for Kanye.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, so this is still escalating, and we're still putting up with his shit.
You know, the weirdest thing is, with all the money that Kim Kardashian has, she still has to put up with his bullshit.
Yeah, because
it's not like she can't. With all that money, she can't just quash him and say, "Just shut the fuck up."
You would think so, but apparently not. So
Well, she's Job. She's got the patience of Job. Look at her. She's just like either that or she's just as stupid as fucking.
Well, she also has she's working on an acting career, so she's trying to be. I think she's trying to get herself out of because most people knew her from a sex tape, and she's taking that way beyond sex tape. You know, she's so much above that now that most people don't even think of her as. They forget that that's how we knew who she was to begin with.
I'm pretty
I never
sure
forgot.
my wife started marketing a line of swastika T-shirts. That would probably be a line for me, though.
yeah, I mean, she got into clothing and she's got a clothing line like those Skims. Like she has built a empire off of that tape.
Yeah, you know,
$1 billion empire, mind you.
It makes me regret the fact that my sex tape was on beta because nobody could see it. I'd be famous by now if my sex tape wasn't on beta.
Oh, this is from Anthony Cumia. Is that what this is from? No.
No. This is I redid Cumulus's logo for them. This is Cumulus Cumulus Media, also known as Cumulus Radio or Cum Media. They own a bunch of radio stations that are currently silent because they're having terrible business issues right now, and there's all sorts of AM and FM radio stations sitting silent currently because they have no idea what to do with them. Nobody wants radio, and the only people that are still left listening to radio are AM conservative stations for some reason.
Yeah, absolutely true.
So I wanted to throw that out there.
How much for a station? I'll buy one. Well, no.
Oh, I'm sure you could probably get one on the cheap now. I bet you could.
I'll trade Steven in his wheelchair for a radio station.
I mean, that's fair. At least I'd be.
Yeah, look what the price is. You have nowhere to go, but you have your own radio show.
Yeah.
At least I'd be useful to somebody.
Yeah.
Take it.
So Cum Media.
Come.
All right. So this is Diddy's assistant there on the left with the phone. She is being investigated as part of this whole thing. And she is saying, because she has been his assistant for 10 years, and she says she knows nothing about the parties or like the sex trafficking and all that.
I see nothing. I know nothing.
She's on the flip. Look at that face. She can't.
I have some experience.
She can't do soft time.
I have some experience with this, not with this particular crime. My mother, she answered the phone for my father, and when the FBI came to get my father, they took my mom in handcuffs too. I mean, you answered the phone, you knew the business was going on, you were taking bets. She had to be. There's no way she's not getting charged as an accomplice, or there's no way.
Yeah, it's the smoke where there's fire type of thing. Yeah, I mean, it's almost like the Epstein thing. It's like, as a person, you can't do the math yourself and put things together. Like, oh yeah, listen, he touched a few kids and some sex trafficking, but Jeffrey, we just had lunch all the time together.
And like in my family's case, they had wiretaps, so they knew for a fact. I'm sure they have. Listen, your cell phones are not private, man. They're going up to carriers who are recording this stuff for NSA. Absolutely, especially if you say, certain trigger words that they pick up on. So they have proof that she answered the calls and knew what was going on. She's doing time or flipping. Those are her two choices: do time or flip.
Well, no, in the case of my mom and my dad never wrote things down because he had that kind of memory. And so to get him, my mother had a fight, and to get at my mother, he didn't pay. We didn't have raids because my father paid people not to raid us. When he got mad at my mother, he just decided to skip a payment, and he left this information in my mother's nightstand. It looks like my mother was running an operation.
That was really tough because we know it was chiseled in stone those days. Paper hadn't been invented yet, so more.
Well, actually, they had an abacus. They were using an abacus.
Yeah. So I'm sure she'll probably turn, and they'll offer her a plea deal of some sort for everything that she knows, because
Absolutely.
she has to know something. She had access to all his scheduling and shit like that. So you'd have to know, like, oh, what's this 10-hour block of time on Friday evening?
Yeah.
And why are you having me order so much baby lotion? This is all right. Speaking of back downs, the O Theater in Miami, we talked about this a couple of days ago. They were being threatened by the mayor of Miami because Florida is a horrible state, just like Texas. You just admit it to yourself, people. Anyway, so Miami backed down, or the theater backed down. So they're still going to get their grant money of like $40,000, and the mayor is not going to evict them. But the big stink is because they were showing a pro-Palestinian movie. And so Florida, you're not so free because you fear free speech, bitches. So get a real state, and maybe we'll talk to you at some point.
Get a real state.
If they're allowed to talk to us. They may not be allowed to talk to us, Ron.
Yeah, hey, in Florida, remember, there is so much gay sex happening in your state. You're probably stepping on a man's cum every day.
You know what? You don't want to touch a man's dick. Keep your hand out of an alligator's mouth.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that's an old Florida saying. That's an old Florida idiom, as they like to say.
In my day, we used to say, if you don't want to touch a man's dick, keep your hand out of the gator's mouth. That's what we used to say, yeah.
So
slap it.
I found this story. Limp Bizkit is suing Universal Music Group for $200 million in royalties. And the case is moving to a jury. UMG tried to have the case dismissed, but the judge wasn't having it. So now they're going to move to a jury. And Limp Bizkit claims they have not seen a dime on any royalties or any type of assets. That's why they're suing for $200 million.
I'm willing to bet. Now, this is just a guess because of how comedy works. I'm willing to bet that there are a lot of gigs that Limp Bizkit was being paid in weed, and they didn't realize that was their royalties. They didn't know that the drugs they were getting were part of their royalties.
Well, everyone shits on. They're easy to shit on, Limp Bizkit, but really, like, behind the scenes, they know what the fuck they're doing. Their guitarist, Wes Borland, that guy is a fucking master on guitar, and like the sounds he can produce out of his guitar, he does some fucking crazy ass shit. But that
means if he's that creative, he's really bad at math. But no, I'm just teasing.
Yeah, I mean that's a real possibility. But like, I think Fred Durst, he's kind of like, him and Wes are running the band, and they want their fucking money.
Well, a big part. No, I'm not. Yeah. I'm not going to say a majority, but I know a big part of it. They were around. They were popular when physical product was still selling. Not. It's not all streaming.
No, and they've actually had a really good resurgence the past couple of years. They've been showing up. They've been showing up at these huge music festivals. people are very receptive, and they are still very fucking good live.
Yeah, their music
they're fucking live,
is
man.
their
And
music transcends the decades, man. It just because every new generation hears break stuff or the song My Generation, and it just connects, and it makes you just want to fucking go wild and mosh and have fun. It's great.
Yeah, and as you know, Matt, like if any band can fucking knock it out of the park live each time, that's a
it's Limp
clink in their
Bizkit.
armor.
That's one of them for sure.
Yeah.
I've never seen a recording of their live performances that just wasn't good.
Am I the only one hearing that crackling sound in their ear?
No, I hear it though.
Shut up, phone. My phone is giving me all sorts of.
Someone is streaming big titty Latinas right now.
Oh,
just say Steven. Okay, just say Steven.
I don't know. I'm kind of craving a big tittied white chick right now, realistically. But
wow.
Yeah. And hey, Steven, tell your aunt what's up.
God fucking damn it.
So this is Silverchair. You're like, who the fuck is Silverchair? Well, 30 years ago, they had an album called Frog Stomp. They are a three-piece from Australia, and they are getting together to celebrate their 30th anniversary of Frog Stomp without the front man. The front man of the band does not want to be involved. He's like, I don't want to revisit the past. It's like, let's just move on. So they're going to do the show without him. And the front man, it was like the principal songwriter in the group.
It's like having a Spin Doctors reunion without the main guy there. Like, so it's like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's
well,
like
if it's a reunion. They don't have to. They can just play.
Spin.
If it's a reunion, they can just play the old stuff. They don't need their songwriter because the songs are already written.
That is true, but still, you're going to see the front man of the band, and you're like, oh look, we got the drummer and the bassist here. No one cares. So fans are let down, but hey, that's life.
But think of how relieved the frog is. He doesn't have to be stomped on again. It's like he took him 30 years to recover. It's like they want to stomp on me again.
I remember the name Silverchair, but I can't remember any songs.
Well, the thing about the other thing about this band, when they hit, they were still like teenagers. I think like 16, 17 years old when they had like massive success. And like the front man, he had his issues. Like he was anorexic at one point. He was fucking dealing with that shit. And maybe that's why he doesn't want to revisit the past.
Did he change his name to Dana Plato?
No.
I'm sorry. That was really terrible of me.
That was really bad.
I'm going to hell.
All right. So this is, I have like two tech stories in here because I just thought they were interesting. So on March 28th, everybody, if you have an Amazon Alexa, before you could opt out for Amazon to keep your voice data. But just to let you know, on March 28th, Amazon says that will no longer be an option and they will keep all your data. So anything you say into your Alexa will be kept and recorded.
Now, is this grandfathered in? Is this grandfathered in? Like, or is this just like as of March 28th?
Yes,
we will keep it. So if you say it on March 27th, you have the option, but on the 28th, you don't.
That's good because I had a conversation with Alexa. See, this is we don't have Alexa. My stepdaughter has Alexa, but she wasn't even here, and Alexa started talking to me about phone calls she was getting, and I was trying to explain to Alexa that she's not here. Stop talking. And Alexa was just spilling her gut. And it's like, and then I started getting a little profane, and so I would not want that.
Yeah, how does that work, Ron? I mean, I'm just asking because I have no fucking idea. But like in Matt's case, it's not Matt's Alexa. It's let's say it's his stepdaughter's or his half breed's daughter, whatever it is. It's her Alexa, and it's in her room. But he walks by, let's say, walks up and down the hall, and it picks him up. Okay, she would have. In the court of law, she would have expectation of privacy in her room. He does not have that in the hall, I guess. So is his conversation like, can he say, well, delete my conversations. I wasn't in the room. I'm in the hall.
Now the way it works, anyone can use it. And it's kind of like your phone and like Facebook. if you open your when you go to your Facebook, just say, or any of these social media apps, and you want to put up a post, at that point, the system turns on your microphone and all that in your phone, and it's actually recording everything around you. So if it's picking up like someone talking in the background, it will keep that data and it will use it, because that's how you can get, you get those ads that all of a sudden, like, you start talking about something, then all of a sudden it's like, why am I getting ads for lawnmowers? Because I was talking about lawnmowers earlier, or someone in my house and mentioned lawnmowers.
That's why Steven started getting all those your membership calls for Nambla, right?
No, god damn it. But I was
hotrelatives.com.
No. I was talking to a chick about getting a hotel room though, and then I started getting a bunch of ads for like Travelocity and Kayak and shit.
And the Nambla discount, I use the code Nambla when checking in.
Listen, you can call me anything you want. I'm just not a pedophile or a joke thief. God damn it.
Well, the kids you were diddling while you were stealing jokes.
Never diddled kids.
Well, while we're talking,
have you stolen any kid jokes?
No.
So while we're talking about Alexa, here's another story that does make a lot of sense. Siri still has issues answering basic questions, and this is 100% correct.
Yeah.
Because the times I have used Siri on my phone, and you ask Siri for something, it's like it comes up with something completely different.
Well,
hey, Siri,
so
why do you have trouble answering questions? I didn't get that.
Yep. So if you have one of the newer iPhones though, the Siri integrates with Chat GPT, and that definitely has helped it a little bit.
Yeah, just a little, but not much, because I use
not much.
Because I have that function, and it'll say, "Well, I can't find that. Do you want to use Chat GPT?"
Which iPhone do you have?
I have a 16.
You have a 16. Yeah, I have the 16
Why was
Pro.
Steven Ortiz arrested?
Okay, I found this on the web for why was Steven Ortiz arrested. Check it out.
Wow.
So there's something on the web about why Steven Ortiz was arrested.
Well, if you look up Steven Ortiz, it's mostly like Puerto Rican and Brazilian like athletes and criminals.
No, this is definitely not related. It says it's a comedian in wheelchair diddling kids. It's definitely not.
Okay.
Hey Siri, what do you think about Robert Duvall?
You heard the one about the two bulls?
Not yet.
Not yet. Well, these two bulls are sitting on a grassy knoll overlooking a herd of Guernseys. And the baby bull says, "Hey, Pop, let's run down and fuck one of those cows." But the papa bull says, "No, son. Let's walk down. Fuck them all."
That basically is the idiom I live my life by. Fuck them all.
Mine is from Silverado. It's like, I don't want to kill you, and you don't want to be dead.
Right.
And when I asked Siri that, all it came up with is, "You have no contacts named Robert Duvall." So enjoy the suffering, everybody.
I'm trying.
Matt, everybody. I'm sorry. Ann and Mickey Delaney both say hi, everybody.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Yeah. So basically,
if anyone's wondering, this image is from a New York Times story that came out yesterday or the day before about the best anal sex toys. So if anyone wants to look it up, there are some of the best anal sex toys currently on the market.
They're all butt plugs. I know this.
You bastard partners. Give me. You bastard partners.
That's tasty.
That's tasty. Let me just say, I have some expertise in the butt plug industry. The butt plug industry, because we used to have sponsors. Tiffany, what was Tiffany's? I forget it.
Tracy's dog.
We had
Tracy's dog.
But the butt plugs were not moving quite well.
Well, Matt, it doesn't help that you were
the ones that was typically one that was safe. They didn't use like artificial ingredients or something.
No.
Well, that
yeah.
doesn't make sense
It
for a
was.
butt
It was
plug.
all
all organic,
toxic plastics. And
right. So they use like corn cobs instead of like
Matt,
plastic. They use natural ingredients.
Matt would have sold more butt plugs if he wasn't testing them out in the Ace Hardware parking lot. So,
yeah. For whatever reason, the butt plugs were not going up like we wanted them to.
My wife and I were getting ready to eat a salad the other day, and she said, "Well, let me get the cucumber out the fridge." And so she gets the cucumber out the fridge, and it's about this long. It's a long ass cucumber, but it doesn't have a lot of girth, but it's really long, and it's covered with plastic. And so my wife starts peeling the plastic down. She looks at me and goes like, this is just like taking off a condom. And I'm looking at the cucumber like this. Honey, I'm really sorry that I've been disappointing you all these years.
I think GD just told us a story about him getting his salad tossed with a cucumber.
That's what it sounded like, yes.
Finish inside me.
I'm
coming for you!
So, very rarely that we get double no-shows on one show.
But that's 4 now, right? So I'm almost at the 5.
It's 3 this week. 3 this week.
I got audio from GD's wife when she brought out that cucumber.
I'm coming for you!
Yeah, all right. Chopping up cucumbers, chopping broccoli.
In some houses, cucumbers are God. Yeah, God's coming for you, and then you're going to come for God.
Well, what else are we going to talk about here without polymaths and Trump guys talking about the American? I was really looking forward to, because the idea about family values and the death of the American family. How could you be pro-family and support Donald Trump, who is...
Because Donald Trump has the
families.
Well, Donald Trump has the facade of supporting the traditional American family, man and woman.
You mean with all three baby mamas, or with just one?
I said the facade. Obviously, he doesn't believe in it, but that's the facade he's put on.
Well, I have a lot of corollaries, postulates, and theorems about this whole Trump shit. One thing is that a lot of the people that cling on to him are basically they're scared and they're afraid. And Trump gives the impression that he's actually going to fight for them. They just want somebody who's going to fight for them. Because when you're afraid, you want somebody to do something. And it doesn't matter what it is, just say you're doing it.
Doc Johnson. I thought it said Don Johnson at first.
Yeah,
Like,
you start with the small, and then you move up to the big.
It's like the Miami Vice butt plugs or something.
That's best for beginners. That's best for beginning, because according to that article, this person did 75 hours of cumulative research on that article of the best anal plug.
Wow!
And that was over a period of 3 days.
Probably long weekend.
Keep squeezing it; it's going to explode.
That's what happens. That's what happens when what was it? The Monday holiday. We just had St. Patrick's Day falls on a Monday. You get 3 days of drunkenness.
That's not a holiday.
Butt plugs. Green butt plug.
So I haven't shared
Package Day
with you guys. I don't know if you know this about me, because you can know this about me, because I haven't told you about it. I've been offered a go back to work job, and the money is so good that it's very tempting. It's like extreme, more than I ever made in my life. They're offering me to come back and be a month.
Total or at one time?
Per year.
Oh, okay.
A yearly salary that I've never, like, way up there. But 6 paid holidays a year. I was like, what happened to America? Didn't America used to have like 10 to 14 paid holidays a year? What the fuck is it?
Well, with that kind of money, you can afford to take days off without
pay.
Yeah,
yeah. They get in the first year, but you only get 2 weeks in the first. It's an executive position. It's a lot of money, but like the package, the vacation time, personal days, and all that stuff only ends up to 21 days total in a year. What is this?
Now, what I'm thinking, because this is the
That's
problem.
the best
I ran
toy
into.
for prostate stimulation.
Oh, you know what? I could use a little of that.
One of the things I ran into years and years ago, the first time we had a salaried position, first time I had a salaried job, and it was management, and they were like bugging me so often, and I did an average of like, okay, when I'm working and I'm not working, like when they call me to take care of something, a decision, and at some point I realized, wait a minute, even though they're paying me this money, I'm actually working for less than minimum wage because I was like always on the phone, and this is before emails,
So your mom's not in this story?
I didn't see her.
Well, I thought she was going to be in that story. I don't know.
Oh, I'm sorry. Back when I used to work for my mom, is that any better? Back when I used to work for my mom, and this was my first salaried position in management, and I was in my 20s. And turns out that by the time I figured out all the work I was doing, I was getting paid minimum wage, even though they was paying me this great salary for someone who was 23 years old, 24,
Right.
25.
So here's my dilemma. I don't really want to go back to work, but here I got this fear in the back of my mind that my Social Security is going to get cut the minute I turn down this job offer, right? So,
but if you take the job offer, it's also going to get cut.
You think?
Yeah, they're going to take it away. Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then I'm stuck working till I die.
And then you won't be able to reapply because they will have closed down all of the offices except for the one in Washington, and you will have to show up there in person to apply.
Sure they don't have an office in Washington. This is another part of what makes the thing a little bit attractive is it's 5 minutes from my house.
I'm talking about Social Security. They have an office in Washington.
Oh. Yeah, but so I think if I take this job, I won't lose it. This is what as long as I have the job, I won't lose the Social Security. The minute I don't take the job or quit the job or then I need it, and then they cut the Social Security and I'll be flat ass.
Well, no, they'll cut it if you work.
No.
Yeah,
No,
that's how it works.
You're talking about disabilities. No, I looked this up.
I don't get disabilities.
If you reach 65, when you reach 65, you keep all your Social Security, no matter how much you make in the year.
Oh,
but I'm not saying they're going to individually cut mine. I'm thinking they're going to individually cut Social Security, the entire program out.
Well, that's why I'm going back to work regardless, because I'm not going to trust that my benefits are going to stick.
But I don't want to die. I know I'm going to die soon enough anyway. I don't want to die still working. I want to die a free man.
You can die a free man. Just commit a crime and go on the lam.
I mean, worst comes to worst. I mean, if you keep your Social Security, do the job, and what happens if you don't like it? Quit.
But if the minute I quit, that's when they'll eliminate Social Security altogether. That's what.
Don't worry, Matt. By that time, the country will be teetering towards the brink of disaster anyway.
Yeah.
Not having Social Security will be way down on the list of your problems.
Yeah, and by then you probably get a lot of money for your kidneys. You'll be fine.
My kidneys. Do you not remember the story about the Black and Decker? That was because I was getting so many kidney infections as a kid. My kidney, you couldn't give you couldn't give them away. You couldn't pay people to take my kidneys.
But they have new technology now. So you have an old kidney, but they have new technology. They take one of your kidneys and they bombard it with antibiotics and stuff like that while it's not in your body. They can't do it while it's in your body because all those antibiotics, all that stuff will kill you. But once they take the kidney out of your body, they can just put it on a machine and they can just run all the antibiotics they want through it. And then the kidney is now pristine and they can put it in somebody else.
The opinions expressed on this program are those of the host or guest and should not be interpreted as statement of fact.
Shouldn't he have said that before I opened my mouth?
I didn't know what you were going to say, to be honest with you.
Well, and to be fair, I mean, whenever I'm getting information about organ transplants, I always come to Mind Dog TV.
Why wouldn't
That's how we keep our number 3 rating in the science
Yeah.
area.
Not that it has anything to do with physics.
Well, you have to physically take the kidney out. That's
I don't know.
the whole part of physics.
I don't know if you visited Mind Dog TV lately, but there is a built-in official it's plugged into the API on Good Pods. So I haven't checked the rating, but it will show as our ratings go up and down on that. Also, the daily newscaster is built into the front page of the site too now, so that automatically updates with different kind of news. So what does it say here? It just says top 100 podcast, Good Pods, top 100 interviews, indie podcasts, listen to Mind Dog TV and Mind Dog's best friend, blah, blah, blah. Doesn't say what our number is here. Hold on, let me see. We're way down. This is not Coffee with the Dog. Coffee with the Dog is a different number. Mind Dog TV podcast, number 28, right? Yeah. Comedy. That's not bad, but you know what? I don't know that they register all of them because there's got to be 28, at least 128 comedy podcasts that do better numbers than ours.
Yeah, but they don't have better quality comedy. That's what they're basing it on, quality, not quantity.
Number 47 is That's a Gay Ass Podcast. There's a lot of them with coffee in the name. Maybe I should get coffee out of the name. Not saying Mind Dog TV, the night version, is number 69 in comedy. Now, I don't even do much comedy on that. I used to back in the day, but
we're going to change the name of the show to Good Brew with the Dog.
Yeah, Good Brew.
Good Brew with the Bras. Yeah, Good Brew with the Bras. That's it.
So we have the live radio player that updates automatically on like, who the fuck's going there for news anyway?
Now, is that you was talking about the good podcasting? Is that category? Are you competing with people who do theirs delayed, on demand, or is it all live or a mixture?
No, it's every podcast that's listed within the podosphere of podification of on the pod feed or the RSS feed. If you got an RSS feed, they supposedly scan it and give you numbers. So
I have to set up my RSS feed. It just seemed like so much work.
For which one? For what? For
I don't know. They keep it. I don't know.
Well, I think now if you're on YouTube, and you are on YouTube, like GD's so funny, so GD funny, whatever, that if it's on YouTube, we'll have an RSS feed automatically.
But I don't know what it's called. I don't know what it is because my website asked me about my RSS thing, and I just saw SS and I panicked. I'm like, no Nazi shit on my.
Yeah. Really simple syndication. That's what it says.
Oh, see, now I thought it was racist and Nazis.
Yeah, right. Yeah, or remove Social Security. That's what it says.
Oh shit! No, I don't want that.
You're not really worried. You don't think that because there's a lot of people who keep poo-pooing it. Oh, they could never do that. You can't put all those people in.
I'm not poo-pooing it. And my wife is like super worried about it, and I know I'm worried about it in the back of my brain because occasionally I have thoughts about, okay, what will I do? And I keep telling myself, well, I'm not going to get a gun, and I'm not going to go down. I'm not going to shoot anybody. So I've determined what I'm not going to do. I'm not going to become violent and shoot people. So I know what I'm not going to do. I just don't know what I am going to do. It's kind of like clean comedy. Clean comedy, you know what you can, you know what you can't say. You just don't know what you can say.
Right. Well, I'm wondering if, what is an army of 65-year-olds or older?
I got to go back. I'm sorry. Everybody, can you go back 10 seconds? We all turned our head.
Yeah,
we all did in one direction at the same time, like we're looking at something over there.
I think what they're going to do, because I have been reading stuff, is that they won't just take it from you, because that play does not work. That play does not work because it's just too much bad PR to come with it. But what you can do, you can make it fucking tough for people.
Right. They were going to get rid of the service people who and the people who take applications.
Yeah, because they're saying they want fucking people to come down in person to show. And how for a lot of people? How are they going to get there? Some of those people don't even have access to a car on the
like me, for example.
Even.
Yeah, like me, for example, I don't have a car right now, and I can't just have people leave their job in the middle of the day to take me somewhere. I have to be able to do it all online to get it done. Like my dad. My dad was, if he was to wake up from this, he's stuck in the hospital. If he needs to apply for shit, he can't just go and do it. So
then he shouldn't have gone. Then he went to the wrong hospital. He should have gone to a hospital where they had Social Security in the lobby.
Well, when things are really broken within the next year, by the end of the year, when things are really broken and things aren't working, well, finally people will fucking stand up then and be like, things were working before and now they're fucking not.
You would think that makes sense, but there are people who are just so far up his ass and up the cult's ass, not just the leader of the cult, that I think even if they get their own lifeline of Social Security, Medicaid, Medicare, all that cut, they'll still somehow make an excuse that it must be Biden's fault.
Well, no, here's also the other thing is that Trump and Musk have been prepping their people for some time, saying it's going to be a hard time for a little while, but when we come out on the other side, it's going to be so much better. It's going to be what you asked for, and so
because you'll be in heaven, because the other side means you'll be dead.
I'm just saying. So they're faithful are going to say they're going to be like Job. We'll suffer because it's for the Lord. I'm sorry, Trump. We'll suffer because it's for Trump, and so they're building up, but it's the other people. And now,
we should put that on we should put that on a shirt. Take their Social Security and let God sort them out.
Yeah. Exactly. Now, you know about the Tesla fire thing that people start fires and vandalism. And, that's terrorism. Yes, it is. But here's the thing: terrorism really is defined by people who are fighting back against an overwhelming force that they can't fight with traditional military because they don't have a traditional military. So even if you talk about like the Boston Tea Party, those patriots who were throwing tea in the river, that was terrorism. Terrorism is basically the weak guy fighting back any way he can. So yeah, people are burning Teslas, and we're not saying that I'm not telling people to do it, but I'm not telling you not to do it either. If you want to risk your life and get arrested for that, that's on you. It's not on me. But here's the thing: you don't have to do it. They blow up on their own, so you don't have.
Yeah, that's just wait. Just wait a minute.
Right.
Yeah, and really, it happening at one or two places at most. That's not really a thing either. That's just some nutso.
And also, now they say, well, Democrats are celebrating that or rooting for an American company to fail. That's un-American right away. And like Anheuser-Busch would like a word about this. Remember, you were shooting a Bud Light cans over the fact that you didn't like somebody who was doing their advertising for them because they were trans. That was, you were rooting for that company to fail. And you can go on and on with those. How many companies?
Hustler Magazine was an American company. You couldn't get more American than Hustler Magazine, And who was trying to shut it down? Conservatives.
The NFL was an American company. You were trying to shut them down over a guy who was just taking a knee over the anthem beat to show what other people who have on his side were telling him to do.
But in all fairness, it was a black radical with an afro. I'm just saying.
Not that radical. You could say black guy with an afro. Yeah.
No, it was radical. He took a knee. Come on. You don't take a knee unless you're radical.
Wasn't it Jim Brown who told him to take a knee? Oh, somebody like that. Somebody who...
No, actually, it wasn't even Jim Brown. It was actually a vet. It was a conservative guy. They were friends with, and he said it was a white guy. And it was their compromise. It was a compromise they reached. So even this conservative guy was going like, no, this should be okay.
There you go. But so the point is they're saying Democrats rooting for a company to fail. There have been many companies that the Republicans have. This is what cancel culture was all about. Them trying to shut down companies over things they don't like when it happens to them.
And even now, Trump is trying to do it by. I mean, here's another thing that's kind of scary. There are private companies that Trump and his Justice Department are going after the attorneys. And they're going after any federal funding, and they're trying to like dry up the donor base for the not the donor base, but the billionaire donor class for the Democrats. So the billionaires that would give money to the Democrats, they're trying to hit them in their wallets by hitting their attorneys, any grants and stuff like that.
Get off my wallet, because I keep my wallet in my back pocket, and I don't like people getting in my back pocket. It's all. Stay away from my back pocket.
I didn't even realize you were part of the billionaire donor class.
I am. You didn't know? Well, the guest I had on last night. Now, she's in Mexico City. She's an author, and she quit her job, a very high-paying tech job, and she's supporting herself. And she said, basically, happiness is about understanding when it's enough for you, what defining what's enough for you. That to me, that's a clip. I didn't put a B on it, but I'm certain it's been clipped. This is the problem. People are never satisfied with enough. Bill Burr was talking about this. I can't believe billionaires are not happy with $1 billion. I have $1 billion, and you're angry and you want more. Like, how is that not enough? You can't possibly spend the money you have. Think about Elon Musk. How many lifetimes it would take to just spend that money on the wildest fucking party you could imagine. Like, you can't possibly spend $500 billion in 10 lifetimes on every fucking toy you can imagine, every fucking mountain of hookers' asses.
If they were liquid assets, I would agree with you. But some of those assets aren't liquid yet. It's not like he has like $500 billion in the bank. He has $500
but he has the potential.
Yeah, I'm just saying. So, for example, if he has like, let's say 250 billion of that is in stock and Tesla tanks and X tanks, which is why he's fighting back now, because Tesla stock is going to the crapper method. The conservatives are saying now's a good time to buy Tesla. It's in the tank, and
I know we don't know this, but how much would you guesstimate that he has liquid, that he can, like cash on hand, that he could?
$17.18.
Wow, you really undercutting him. I think just a little bit. I think
25 cents.
I think he's got at least $18. But no, come on.
He's
got $1 billion cash laying around, doesn't he? He's got $1 billion cash laying around.
I would imagine. Maybe. You never know with these guys.
Yeah, but it's probably in offshore accounts. They probably have money hoarded away. I know that there was a government thing done under the Biden administration, or at least leaked under the Biden administration, that there was like it was for Biden. It was during Obama. And they said there was like $4 trillion of just bank accounts that's just being hoarded. And because Elizabeth Warren, when she was because she was running for president, and she just said she wants to tax that at like a half a penny per million. And they were like, "What? You're going to tax us a half a penny per million? You selfish bitch!" Because that's a lot of fucking money. But it's only a half a penny per million. And the people did, they just got Elizabeth Warren labeled as a tax and spend Democrat. It's like, I'm taxing you a half a penny per million after your first million,
But I think with all these super rich people, even the multi-millionaires, like, when is enough? I'm telling you, there's definitely a pretty low number where, and listen, I'll bet, yes, I'm old enough that it doesn't apply to most people, but there's a very, 7-figure number, whatever, 8-figure, maybe 9-figure. There's a number where I would say that's enough. I don't need any more, and I couldn't possibly. I don't know what to do with all this money. There's only so many guitars I could buy, only so many cars I could buy, only so many houses. Like, when is enough enough? And I think that we have an epidemic of enough is never enough with people. It's like
I think that epidemic exists with people who have mental deficiencies, and then I'm not saying that in a clinical sense. I'm just saying like they're incomplete here, you know, and that's so like the billionaires. There's something wrong here. That's why they can't feel it.
Can't buy me love.
Yeah, the emptiness is here, and all that money, you know, that's how they keep score, and they're keeping score, but they can't win because there is no goal.
And how many
can
of
win
these,
something when there's a goal?
How many of these just uber rich people are just miserable? Michael Jackson, Elvis Presley, they had it all. Prince had it all, and you know, more money than they knew what to do with, but still miserable in their soul enough that. You know,
I think that's because they don't have people in their life to tell them no. I think that's why those people get like there's like no one in their life just to say like, all right, pump the brakes and stop this bullshit.
Yeah,
that and nobody who will love them just because they're, you know, in other words, Ron, you and I met when we were broke, okay, and I'm not saying that we're like the best of friends, but we didn't kill each other, right? And if you became like a millionaire tomorrow, I became a millionaire tomorrow. We knew each other back when we were like starving comedians. So we have an appreciation for each other.
Yeah.
But if we didn't meet each other until one of us was, let's say you were like, you know, you were like doing circuiting, you know, traveling the country and you're like a $9 billion comedian. And I say, hey, Ron, you know, you don't know that I like you because you're you or because of the money.
I think that's called the Marla Maples effect.
Yeah.
That's what
no, I don't think Ron looks anything like Marla Maples.
Oh, you know, I want to bring up our Chinese overlords TikTok for a second because you know how they are so anti-American, blah blah blah. Anyway, I posted a meme that was not that bad. I took a porta potty and I put Trump's face on the toilet and RFK in this very dirty porta potty. And I was like, "Wash your damn hands." And then I get this message from TikTok. It's like, we have taken this down. This is a strike against your account. This goes against, like community guidelines. I'm like, what? There's nothing. There's no cursing or anything. It's like, fuck these. It's just dumb and ridiculous.
I've got stuff taken down, but never a strike. A strike is pretty drastic, right, for them because that means you've really gone over the line, I guess. So you've broken the rules. So bad enough for them to say, don't do this again. You get 3 strikes on them, right?
No, they may have removed that strike because I just got a message from TikTok because I asked them to appeal it. And it said post restored.
Wow.
Hey, good job.
Yeah, we have reviewed and restored your. We apologize for any inconvenience this may have caused. Thank you for being part of the TikTok community.
Now, there was one video of mine. No, actually, technically, it wasn't not a video of mine. It was a video that you did, Ron, to promote the show that we're doing in New York. They would not let me repost it.
It's so weird.
They would not let me repost it, and no matter what I tried, no matter what I did, which is why I started making my own post. Because I was trying to use your post, and even when I used your post and embedded it with something else, they would not let me do it. They like said, "Nope, you can't. No. Community standards, you can't." I'm like, Ron can post it. I can't.
Yeah,
you know? That's what made me start posting my own stuff because they wouldn't let me repost what you had done. I just couldn't, and I couldn't win. I appealed it and even sent this long letter saying, look, he's on the show. We're friends, blah, blah, blah. I was like, nope, can't. No. Bad Negro. Bad Negro. That's a slappity.
Oh, slappity.
Wow. Stephen loved that slappity.
I'm gonna send you the post that TikTok flagged me for, just so you can see it. Like I said, it's not even that.
Can't you put it up here now so we can see it?
I have to log into my TikTok from.
That's so hard. I know.
is.
Phone, it probably doesn't even memorize your password. You probably have to.
I don't think
like,
I can
look it up,
open
right?
on
It
my
doesn't.
own. Oh, that's not the right thing. That's my.
There we go. Let's see if I can do it like this. Oh, it will let me do that.
Yeah, that's a gross porta potty, bro.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And it's just a still, and
yeah, and I have some music.
Maybe it was the artwork on the wall. But I don't know.
Yeah, it makes no sense why that one.
Yeah, the artwork is the artwork copyrighted.
Just copy something.
Wait a minute! I just clicked onto it and I got a footage of Carol Burnett and Vicki Lawrence blooper reel.
Let me see. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
I've been doing some of them because they're actually getting me views and shit like that. Like the memes like that work on TikTok, but not so much for Instagram or YouTube. Yeah,
there it is.
Yeah. So that's your big that will get you're out. One strike and you're out. Well, you know what? I got an appeal overturned from on Twitter last week. Something about they said I was threatening violence, and then the post had no reference to any violent stuff in it.
Not you. That's not something Matt in the post.
Oh no!
If I gotta take one eye,
no, nothing like that. I forget what exactly.
44 finger was it? 44 pinkies? What was it? 44 finger club.
Yeah. Oh, here is another one that I put up that did not get flagged, but I love it so much. I think you guys may appreciate it. This is a meme that I had made as well. Where did it go?
Oh yeah, I saw that.
A great job as Second Lady of the United States, and I'm so proud to have her back by my side. And here's the thing: the cameras are all on. Anything that I say, no matter how crazy, Usha has to smile and laugh and celebrate.
Well, what are you waiting for? Let's get making that milk mustache.
His eye makeup is making my couch very horny.
Yes.
I couldn't pass that up. I've seen that cow video, then the JD Vance thing, then all of a sudden the light bulb went off in my head. It's like, that's how they connect.
See, I worry because I think that Ron's light bulb is still not LED. It's still like an incandescent bulb, and it's going to just take up too many watts. It's going to burn you out, Ron. You're going to have to switch to an LED, something to conserve some of the energy. Otherwise, you're going to get burned out.
Yeah, the internet is bad for a person like me because just the way my mind operates, and like I see different things, and I'm like, these things do go together. Let's make
yeah. See, you would not do well on Sesame Street, which says one of these things don't go together. It's like, why not? And why the fuck not?
Yeah, that's actually kind of like how I am. It's like, well, why couldn't they go together? Let's see if we can make this work.
TikTok has these things that I keep seeing about. They have like 5 or 6 things listed, and they'll say, pick the thing that doesn't belong. And I'll look at them, I'll go like, okay, I know what you want me to say, but I can make it belong.
Can you sing the song from Sesame Street?
Sure. Which one?
Sunny days.
One of these things doesn't belong with the others. One of these things
is not the same. One of these things is not like the other.
That's why we get together and fuck your mother. One of these things do not get together.
Yep, not like the other. We call her a sister, but it used to be your brother. One of these things is not like the other.
And we'll all go down on your mother.
Whoa.
Like that.
I'm going to make you a little brother.
Oh. No.
You know what? We should be sensitive. Steven will include your father. One of these things are not like the other. Pull down your pants and fuck your brother.
Whoa.
Wow. One of these things is not like the other. Some of them are bears and some of them are otters.
That was good. Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know if you know this about me, but I'm an otter.
That's pretty
I
good.
didn't know this about me, but I have otter tendencies.
Pretty good.
Well, I'm just tender because of the otter.
You bears and otters, give me
Matt's favorite song by Adele is "Hello from the Other Side." You must have banged 1,000 guys. Anyway, that's a good song.
Oh.
So what do we do? I don't know.
Welcome to the Ad Lib Music Hour.
So,
brought to you by Minucci's.
Well, let's wrap up your job prospect. So, do you have to give them an answer within a certain amount of time?
Tomorrow at about 2:00 in the afternoon, I have to make a decision by then, and I'm scared. Hold me. I'm scared of saying no.
Then say
but
maybe.
I really don't want to. I really don't want the job.
Then say maybe. Give them a definite maybe.
Well, here's the thing, Matt. You know you're so desirable from employers.
Yeah, you are.
So I'm just saying. So if you say no, and then something does happen to Social Security, you should be able to find work fairly quick. I mean, if they're knocking at your door.
No, I could find work, but nothing within 5 miles or 5 minutes of the house.
Right,
that will pay.
Yeah, especially with you being
almost $300,000 a year, just short of $300,000.
Yeah, especially with you being in Long Island, that is like a godsend. A job that's 5 minutes from your house.
Right.
Now it might take you an hour to get to 5 minutes.
I want you to do that. You call Zen's phone number from Steven. Call her and talk it out. Just see.
My number. Where Steven got it from? Whatever.
No, I thought he and Zen were texting each other.
They were, but he got the information from me.
I'm saying, he got it from you. Okay, so call Zen and talk it out, because she's going to say to you, all right, Matt, with the gut in your stomach, what's it telling you? And you're going to say, it's telling me I need another dose of good brew. Say, okay, but other than that, what else is that stomach that not telling you?
Good bro.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, and Steven, just let your aunt know that I'll text her after the show. I meant to text her earlier, but
and let her know that I left that little thing underneath the flower pot. Okay. And GD, what do you have to say? Private message for Steven's aunt.
Nothing.
No.
Nope.
Why?
No such thing as a
Why are
private
you
message.
not getting a shot? I mean,
no,
because wait a minute.
I am happily married, and I'm not looking at other women.
Yeah.
I only look at other men.
I bought that.
He's so dedicated to his wife, he doesn't even watch porn with women in it.
Yeah, he meets up with men on the highway like a respectable husband.
Finishing sight.
No, at Ace Hardware like a respectable husband. I'm gonna go pick up some hardware, honey. I'll be back.
I am so dedicated that I only look at National Geographic magazine.
Yeah, I'm telling you, hey,
only because they look like your family members.
For all the deviants out there, you have to watch Fake Profile on Netflix. It is the best Colombian soap telenovela that I've ever seen. It is, everyone is fucking each other. The women are insanely hot. Even the men, they're hot. It's like, what is going on here?
And what is this on? Is this on Netflix? Is this on Disney Channel? Oh, this is on Disney Channel.
Yeah, it should be.
Disney Plus presents.
Yeah.
I don't need this open. I'm just looking at calendar tomorrow.
We cut bareback mountain director's cut.
Tomorrow, James Crackett from the Perfect Storm Music is supposed to be the guest. Yeah, I think he's in the second. Where is he? Yeah, second hour. 10:15. So there's no first hour guest. And the guy James Crackett, I don't know how he found me. He's a musician, independent musician, guitar player, songwriter, harmonica player.
Yeah. Well, you know, Matt, you could get that job and just, if you're doing fine with Social Security, just take the job, earn the money, and just squirrel that money away.
And,
just like work it for a year or two, put away,
then I have to put up with the job. I'm to the point where, because it's been more than 5 years now since I've been in any capacity, like in like a real job, like what you would call a real job or think of as a real job, and answering the bosses and having to be
I get it.
responsible and having to get out of
I
bed
get
at a certain time. Just go do that.
You're already getting out of bed at a certain time, so it's just a
No,
matter.
I'm not. It's a certain time, anytime before like 8:30 in the morning. But sometimes it's 6:30, sometimes it's 7 o'clock, sometimes it's 8 o'clock. Sometimes I'm just hitting that snooze like a son of a bitch. I'm like Mr. Snooze.
So
you
you're
can't do
fingering
that.
your clock? What?
You
Is
can't
that
do that
alarming?
with a regular job. You can't be Mr. Snooze. You can't say, "Well, not today. I'm not doing it. I don't feel like it."
Well, if you're working from 5 minutes from home, you can kind of hit the snooze because it's not like you have to, beat rush hour traffic,
I
right?
have to go be a guy and be like responsible and be like politically correct and everything.
Call Zen, talk it out, see how it is,
And then I'm gonna die in 6 months anyway. So,
but then your animal.
A lot of that comes. A lot of what's come? Dying. Dying is not a lot of come.
Well, it depends on how you die.
Yeah.
I'm talking myself out of it, but I know I should take it. I feel guilted like I have to take it because the money is so good. I mean, really.
That's my wife has told me I'm not allowed to die on top of her while we're having sex.
Oh, damn it.
I have somebody who's very close to me who had that happen. Her first husband died in her. Her. Yeah.
Oh.
And this before or after Viagra was invented? Because if it was
before, way before. This was 1980.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, she's had what a fucking first husband fell off the roof and died. Second one died in her. And the third
one to die in her from the roof.
I can't talk about the third one. I can't say. It's not me. That's all I'll say. The third one was not me. But no, she had bad luck with husbands. That was the point I'm getting at.
And there was a movie with Shirley Chisholm. No, Shirley MacLaine.
Yeah.
And in the movie, she had like 6 husbands, and they all died. They all tragically died. And she's in the therapist's office talking to a therapist, and she goes, "Men just fall in love with me when they get married, and then they die." And so there was a whole premise of, huh?
She's a Black Widow.
No, they just die, and then they show how all of the husbands died. They're like freak accidents. Like one dies like getting sucked into an airplane engine or something like that. Every last one of them dies.
Like in Clue, all my husbands have died under mysterious circumstances. My husband, he was a magician, but he never reappeared. Well, he was not a very good magician.
Shirley MacLaine was a regular on my old radio show. She used to stop in because this was in the days when she was channeling and doing all this chakra healing and all this. She was out there being a new age person, and so the psychics would be doing that thing, and I would have Shirley MacLaine call in and channel somebody. Like we had Shirley MacLaine channel Lee Harvey Oswald, and so I channeled Jack Ruby, and I shot her.
The Shirley MacLaine movie was called "What a Way to Go."
What a way to go!
What a way to go!
Hey, Brock here. If you're gonna smoke the weed and drink and take some edibles, stop being a pussy and start chasing the drag.
The film features a wealthy widow who wants to donate most of her fortune to the Internal Revenue Service, and so
Isn't she anyway? Or
No, actually no, because there's a loophole. There's a donut hole, and after a certain period that you don't donate, you don't contribute to Social Security after a while, and that's part of the problem. A lot of progressives want to fix Social Security by getting rid of that donut hole, so that doesn't matter how much you make, and it's based on wealth. And that's also like Elizabeth Warren. She wants a wealth tax, not just an income tax.
Right.
Wealth isn't taxed.
Yep. That bitch.
Why do you call her a bitch?
I don't know.
Because
I think if people had listened to her financial plans, that we actually be in a lot better place. That's why they attacked her like they did. She made sense, and she was actually being very, very specific about what she wanted to do.
right. Well, part of what I heard yesterday about this idea about not. First of all, I didn't have time to go deep on this stuff, but they were saying that Trump had canceled the idea of no tax on tips before he even passed got that thing passed, no tax on tips. But then they were saying the idea of tax on tips, they wanted to make it unlimited. So all these corporate executives, instead of taking big bonuses, would just call it a tip or a gratuity.
Yeah.
Hey,
As soon as he said that,
what's that smell? It's my balls.
Yeah.
As soon as he started talking about no tax on tips, I knew that it had nothing to do with waiters and waitresses. And that's my fact. So I said to my wife, I said, and then billionaires will start calling their income tips.
Yep.
Ron,
So,
what are you talking about?
But Steven's like these fucking rednecks who think Elizabeth Warren's a bitch. Why?
No, I don't think she's a bitch. I was just playing.
Yeah, but you think you're gonna ever be invited to the wealthy party? They're not gonna invite you.
Oh,
You're not
that's fine.
invited. If you're invited, it's gonna be because you are dinner. We couldn't
That's
get
fine.
We
Yeah.
get a real pig, so we're gonna put Steven in.
It's like that movie with Matthew Broderick, where they think that all these billionaires think they're eating rare exotic species.
Yeah.
I can't remember what the movie was, but they all think they're eating like the last of something, and it turns out the animals.
It's called To Serve Man, and Mike Douglas is one of the aliens who brings down the cookbook To Serve Man, but it's all about serving man like a la carte, whatever. Fettuccine.
Sounds like your favorite meal, man.
Yeah.
Minucci's. Minucci's now serving man fettuccine.
With fresh squeezed Alfredo sauce.
This has been a disaster of a show. I had promised a Trumper who was going to come and tell us about the American family, and I was going to go, yeah, what about Elon Musk having fucking 15 baby mamas? How's that serve you? But we didn't get a chance to do that. I think he sniffed it out. Smells like liberals to me. Fuck that. I'm not going on. And then the polymath who couldn't do math to poly.
He couldn't do math or poly. Yeah,
he couldn't do.
He's got so much shit going on. He had no time to do this show.
So neither one of them are a show.
Yeah.
Now, do I bash them because they're going to both ask for reviews of their podcast? You know, I had one yesterday who wanted me to mark his interview I'd done on one of these publicist sites. And look, I don't even remember you. I had to look it up. It was 19 months ago. You're just asking me if I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember what kind of guest you were. I don't even remember that you were a guest. How about that? So it's not a great review. But these guys, and do I bash them? That's the question. Do I go and say, these cocksuckers, they make me go look up their bios, put all this information, link to their books, get their book, pictures of their books, and then they don't show up.
I mean, that might teach them a lesson.
You bastards.
You sons of bitches. Yeah. You guys are retards.
And you're about all of it. And you know it.
Oh.
Know it.
Do it.
Right. Steven, get us out of here. Do it.
All right. Well, I guess, guys, don't forget to turn on your radio.
You're not going to push the button on your own. See, you need to learn to push buttons.
I'll push the button. I'll push the button right now. Let's see.
Look how slow he is.
Boom.
Be that way. Push your own damn button.
The truth is, I'm right about all of it, and you know it.
If I keep squeezing it, it's going to explode.
Finish inside me.
The truth is, I'm right about all of it, and you know it.
to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now. Listen to me, listen to me, listen to me now.